deciding this series.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Mirage is basically a given for Valiance. It is one of their best maps, of course. Spirit, well, actually, also Inferno is a really good map for Valiance, so I think Spirit are even going to have to battle really, really hard for this one if they do want to try and take it. It's not going to be kind of an easy map, I guess, so they are going to be struggling. I think Nuke then could be 50-50, so if they take this, I think it could go 2-1 in favor of Spirit, but overall, I think Valiance are going to end up being able to take it 2-0.
Yeah, I'd say it's either Valiance 1 or 2-0 for me. I think Nuke as well, as a decider map, should be fairly easy for Valiance. So overall, I think Valiance should be favorites, but I guess we have to still play the games.
Yeah, for sure. And as we can see now, it is going to be Valiant starting off over on that CT side. Spirit on the terrorist side, they'll be looking to try and start it off with the offense, try and control the pace for themselves. And let's see now what they are going to purchase up into this pistol round. Something I saw from Valiant a lot yesterday was at points they wouldn't even bother buying up kits on these pistols. So let's see if they decide to go for it. And there you go, indeed. Intel is going to purchase one up alongside a smoke. Over on the terrorist side, though, it's Sotfik and Davkos that decide to get that utility to allow them to go for perhaps some sort of execute. And let's see where they're going to decide to take this.
Yeah, early into the round with those two sets of nades, just going to spread things out to start us off in this series. We have, of course, got the 5 USPs on the Valiant side of things, and the bomb currently going to be leaning towards Banana. Valiants have a very passive setup there, so the rotation could be quite long between the sites. They do still have that kit, of course, but it could still be difficult if they don't get a solid B hold. But just as I say that, Spirit not too interested in Banana just yet. They're still just spreading out in that default.
Yeah, it looks like they're just waiting to see if anyone from Valiant decides to get a little bit over-aggressive, decides to push one of these positions to try and find some info, but it doesn't seem like they will. Instead, they're just playing passive back on these sites. They're going for a very standard setup, and once again, it seems like Spirit have made a decision that this B-bomb site is going to be their target as they do begin to regroup on the Banana, the 5th player even going back to join them now, so this is going to be a very difficult hold for both Emmy and Nino to try and actually stop this. No utility or anything. They're just going to have to hit some amazing headshots, and with the smokes and flashes going to be going down, that's really going to complicate things even further. But here we go. The first action should be coming in. Nino able to find that first headshot, still tapping away. He comes in with a second, and Patrick looking very possible. But as I say, that Sotfik's going to be able to trade it out. But Emmy's still alive, of course. He's doing it all from the back of sight. May be able to find another, and he denies the knife, and he gets the final. The headshot onto Sotfik, as it is going to be Valiant picking up the pistol.
All right, then. I mean, that was just pure aim, right? I was saying that Eastside hold could be an issue because they were playing so passively. They really needed to get a strong hold, and that they did. Emmy got himself all 3 kills after his teammate got the first 2, and a very convincing pistol round for Valiant. I'm sure they'll be delighted with that one, and they will be happily taking the SMGs into the second.
Oh yeah, and Spirit, without getting that bomb plant, they are going to be investing into everyone except for Davkost. Of course, he is the main opper of this of the Spirit lineup. He's going to want to make sure that he can get that out on the first gun round. And Spirit right now just going to be trying to take this close while they have the pistols up towards the apartments. They're up close on this quad position. Has to be wary. There is a player just looking to try and come out of boiler at the moment. That's Sumda Young, and he was a player yesterday who, in my opinion, really stood out for Team Spirit. Coming in as that new player, he definitely showed himself to be a very, very very dominant force in terms of the lineup. One of the main stars, I'd say. As right now, Spirit not really making a decision about where they want to take this. They have begun to bring that bomb up towards top middle, and it seems like they're actually just going to be happy enough now with giving up banana control. We saw Valiance were actually trying to contest this, and I guess the pistols, they don't really want to actually try and take these challenges. But as I say that, the Deagle beginning to reapproach this position, and right now only one player has been left towards the top of banana, and Neno just jumping for info, and he has been spotted and needs to be wary if he goes for that repeat once again.
Especially with 43 seconds left, Spirit have taken this one fairly slowly. But as you're saying, Valiant's also playing quite passively. Emmy is actually aggressive on towards Banana, trying to get the info. And now with 30 seconds left, looks like they might try and split the B site. The bomb is still back towards Banana, and Spirit are making their way up towards A long. Joxic not quite spotting them out here. They're going to get into CT. This becomes rather dangerous now for those B players.
Oh yeah, those pistols coming in from so many different angles could make it very, very difficult. But as I say, that Emmy finds the first. The trade does come in though, as Davkost with that Eagle is able to chime in, but it's still Nino in the back of the bomb site. Playing now from construction as he finds himself 2 quick kills. It's going to be Dima getting the bomb down at least to get that extra economy, but now it's all on to Coldy as the bomb. It's only planted. It's not going to be taken away fast enough, and I don't think there's too much Coldy can do. Maybe a kill or 2 more, but that is not going to be possible as at least 2 kills come out, a bomb plant comes in. That's not such a bad... It's not such a bad round for Spirit by any means, getting a bit of damage, forcing some reinvestment to come in now in the following round by Valiance. But once again, Spirit now we're going to be just facing a full eco. That's another chance for the Serbs to just start building up some economy.
Yeah, not too bad from Spirit, all things considered. Quite well played by them to be able to get out through A long, and realizing that the CTs will be playing so passively. If they maybe just got you know, that first entry, it really could have been a dangerous round where they would have been able to get the bomb down onto B. But the two B players again showing that they can hold the site fairly well. And Spirit will just have to again work with a few pistols. They are going to group up towards top mid. We've seen Spirit play fairly slowly up until this point, but it looks like they are all grouped up and ready to go for the push out up mid. You can see the SMGs in position. Hunter gets 2. Actually, a couple of kills back, but Intel is there, and Coldy is the only man left. Fairly easily cleaned up, and Spirit, I'm sure, will now be focused on the gun round.
Yeah, Valiance only losing to SMG is not really too big of a deal, those players. They can just go ahead and get themselves straight onto the rifles now, as Spirit themselves get all the AKs out. And Davkost, of course, as we mentioned, was saving for the AWP, so he gets that immediately out into this first gun round, and I presume he's going to be looking to try and have some massive impact to open up one of these bomb sites. When you get that up on Inferno, you start to use it a bit more aggressively, because if you leave a late round, then you're just going to be kind of blocked off by smokes and molotovs, and you get really restricted in terms of what you can do. So it'll be interesting to see what Davkost decides to go for early on. And right now he's actually holding really passive back towards the ramp, maybe expecting some mid aggression, maybe expecting some of those SMGs to be saved over by Valiance, and a bit of more aggressive play coming in by the CT side. And there we go, it's happening either way. It's actually the M4s pushing straight down Banana. We see one player, at least Nino, pushing in through the smoke, gets caught off guard instantly, and it seems like Emmy has just decided to cancel that push now, and Valiant's down by one man. What are they going to be able to do now to try and bring it back?
Yeah, you were talking about those AWPers, but it's actually just one of the rifles that gets that first pick, which you don't see too often. And now we are going to see Emmy still holding Banana, and he spots over the top of the smoke to get the kill back. So it is going to be into a 4v4, and Emmy still sticking around because Hunter has the flash for him if it is required. It does seem like Spirits are really quite happy to just spread across the map, see if they can get an opening pick. And now that they have still decided to keep things slow. There comes the flash for Emmy. He's going to go for the peek, and again, solid team play. Emmy gets 2 kills, and Valiance swing the round back into their favor.
Yeah, I really like that teamwork there. In a 4-on-4, does tend to favour the terrorist side. The CTs, do have to split their defence up a small amount more, so we see a really nice play coming in. They go for that aggressive push to try and bring it back into their favour, and it works perfectly. And now Spirit in a 3-on-4, looks like they will make their way back to the B-bomb site, and this may be the correct decision. Right now, it's only Emmy to try and hold it, and he actually has 0 utility at all to try and actually delay these players. So once again, it's going to have to be the shot starter hit. It's going to be difficult now with 3 terrorists on coming towards his position, and as you can see, he won't be able to get anything done. Sunday Young finds a quick, snappy headshot to take him down and eliminate him out of the server. And now in a 3-on-3, the bomb is going to be getting planted on this B-bomb site.
Oof. Through the smoke, Coldy going to get that kill. And in the meantime, Intel is coming in, but Sunday Young, again, too quick on the trigger. And Joxic just cannot do anything from this position. He will go to save the AWP. And again, despite the team play being fairly good from Valiance, they took the risk of only leaving Emmy towards B. He was playing all the way back in the sites. I think that off angle he was trying to play isn't a terrible idea, but you are out in the open. So if it goes wrong, he can go down so quickly, and the rotate just wasn't there in time. So when you're solo holding the site, it might not be the best idea to take such a risky off angle like that. And you see that coming back to cost the team. They can't line up the retake, and Spirit will happily get their first round on the board.
Yeah, and doing so with 3 players alive also means that they will be able to easily drop over those 2 players. So they should have everything now that they want into this round. That maybe even a better buy than the previous. This time they have all the utility that they need, and it's actually going to be Valiance investing basically every single bit of economy that they had available into this round, and that's going to at least allow them a very, very good buy. It is going to allow them all that utility they require. Only Nino is really relegated down to the UMP rather than the M4. And that's a pretty decent nade actually coming in early there towards Demon. Brings him down to 82 HP. That'll make those M4s be a little more lethal towards the head now. 1 bullet should be able to take them down, take down Demon, making it act a bit more like an AK-47. But for the moment, Spirit happy enough to continue on with the default, it seems. This time though, they've put a little bit more of an aggressive stance up towards Banana, and 3 players instantly in towards the apartments also. And it's actually Davkost with the op leading the way, interestingly enough. And he's actually going to receive a lot of damage as he goes for that peek out of Boiler.
Yeah, neither AWP are necessarily having the best start to this game. Both Davkost and Joxic struggled to get involved in the action in the previous round, and that trend looks to continue as Davkost attempts to force the fight. It's always a bit of a risk going in towards Boiler, but I think it's not a terrible fight to take with the AWP. He just misses this time around, and he still gets out alive. And so Spirit will just continue their slow play on the T side of things. Although Joxic is also looking for a frag with this, or on the CT side. He won't get it, though. He's still playing fairly patiently. Again, 43 seconds left. The utility starting to dwindle on either side, but Valiant still with a little bit left to try and slow down the eventual push. And as I keep saying, 35 seconds now. Spirit finally might look to make their move towards B.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to make this move extremely soon. And luckily enough for them, there's not really any utility left on Valiance to hold this off other than maybe a couple of flashes. And I don't think that's even available on any of those B players, rather. So once again, it just seems like these B players, every single time the Ts do come in, they have zero utility left. And here we go. It is going to be the opening frag by Emmy, at least as he spams into the smoke, even drops the bomb, finds a second. Down the injured player of Davcost, and off the back of the site, Nino for the moment just trying to stay alive. He will eventually get taken down, and Coldy finds one, as does Demon through the corner of the smoke. And somehow in an instance this round has gone all back in favour of the Russian side. Team Spirit 3-on-2 with full control of the B-bomb site, the bomb ticking away. And Intel and Joxic, will they even be looking to go for this retake?
They really needed each of those 3 kills as well. That makes a huge difference. Dima still trying to fight, spots the man. The AWP is on the other side of things, so Joxic does get that pick. Are they going to expect the close angle? They do, and now it's only Coldy left. He's stuck towards Banana, but there's still no utility. The defuse coming in. Coldy wins the first fight, and Joxic has to get off the defuse. There's just no time left for him to work with. And Spirit will just about hold on to the round win. A very, very intense end to the round. And Joxic again saves the AWP, but this time around there's not that much money on the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, some mistakes were definitely made there by Valiant on that retake. I understand trying to deny the bomb plant, but is it really needed when you have a 4 versus 3? I'd say just work together, pushing straight in there, trying to deny the bomb plant. Of course, there's going to be someone actually covering at least one of those positions, and it didn't work out for them by any means. They ended up going from that 4-on-3 into a 2-on-3 instead, and it ended up just not working in their favour at all. And here we go once again. It will actually be Valiant's bind. They get everything they can. They saved over the up in the hands of Joxic, and Spirit just continuing on with this round that they've been doing for the past 2, just a fairly standard default, but changing kind of where they have the heavy presence. This time they send a third player over towards Banana just to ensure they can counter any aggression that comes in from Valiance. And would have been a bit of a weaker buy. That's something that they may expect, but I'm not even sure on the other hand if Spirit or where that Valiance are fully invested into this one.
Well, that Banana presence is coming through yet again. As you were saying, Spirit continue to play things slowly, but they are at least keeping some map presence. We haven't really seen Valiance necessarily fight too hard for Banana, and yet they're still not really holding the B site. So that might be a switch-up we'll have to see in the future if they continue to struggle to hold off on towards B. But for the time being, they're still happy to hold back on the site. You can see Joxic will be the first line of defense with that AWP. This is really exactly what Valiance would want. They're going to be running into Joxic's AWP. Let's see if the utility usage is on point from Spirit, because they only have 1 flashbang left, so it might be difficult to get him off that angle.
Yeah, and also with Nino up on this boost, it could be very, very dangerous having that player to support him under the smoke, as Joxic can, after taking that first shot, can just fall back off and hide towards the back of the site, waste time, allow for the rotate to come in and allow Nino to maybe just find 1 kill and then fall back off. And here we go, the Ts are going to be making their way in finally. The op opens it up, as does Nino from the boost, as I mentioned, and it's just working pretty well. Eventually, Davcost does trade one back, but Nino going for the play, pushes straight through the smoke, but he doesn't find the second. He thought he had connected enough bullets, but apparently not, as Sunday Young just about lives with 8 points of HP. But still Valiant with a 1-man advantage going in towards this retake, as right now all 3 players look to try and come in from the CT position. Emmy actually coming in from construction is going to be able to find Davcost as the flash causes him to turn away, even though it wasn't really going to affect him. So Sunday Young now 8 HP, 1 kill already, and he's going to need to try and find 3 more if he wants to be able to clutch this out. And with a smoke gone down, I think the defuse should be able to come in now by Intel. As long as the cover is good enough to allow it for it to happen. And there we go, Emmy through the smoke, tapping away with the MP9, finds the final headshot. And finally Valiance get themselves another round onto the board.
Oh, interestingly, they had the option to save a second AWP, but they decide against it. I think maybe if Spirit were going to be on a proper full buy, they might have gone for the second AWP, but they might not be exactly sure what Spirit's money is like. And you can see this buy isn't exactly full. So, I mean, the double AWPs on the CT side of Inferno, you can go either way with it, really. So I understand them not wanting to save that one. And this time around, Hunter trying to go aggressive. Look at the push coming in. Intel is also alongside him, but he's only going to get the 1 frag. Valiant's really switching things up, but it's not going to work out to start the round.
Yeah, the trade's not working out at all for Valiance. Not only did they get down by 1 man, but also Joxic in the process takes a lot of damage trying to face down middle with that AWP. And Spirit now, they'll be very happy with that. They're going to be able to just slow this down now with still 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining on the clock. And then as the time begins to run down, just regroup, hit a bomb site together. And if they're able to just successfully trade it out, even if they lose 1 player for every player they kill, they will be winning the round. So that's the optimal way right now to play this. Now I'm looking to try and peek in towards middle. And at the moment, Spirit still just hanging around the apartments, waiting to see if anyone tries to re-aggress on this position to get the info once again, as in a 3-on-4. It's not looking great for Valiance, and Emmy himself has pushed up quite far in Banana. He's pushed up at least towards the sandbags position. He's going to actually... He wants to play a spot where he can get that info a little bit earlier to allow for his teammates to rotate over if the terrorists do come back towards B. But as we can see, Team Spirit instead look to try and make their way out of the A apartments, but one player also coming through mid, and that is going to be Davkos. Nice smoke towards Moto, going to be blocking off the viewpoint of at least one of those players coming in from long, and Joxic on the site is extremely low as he gets found by Dima, and that is going to be the bomb site under the control of Spirit, and I'd say Valiant at this point probably want to save.
Yeah, Joxic there holding on the site with the AWP felt like a really tough position for him to play from. Either he maybe should try and go back in towards pit. I don't know, it's really tough when you're that low on health, because obviously you don't want to go in pit and just take a nade and then go down, but playing that angle on site, you're so up close, you're so exposed if you miss the shot. It always felt like he was going to struggle to hold that sort of angle. So Spirit's starting to get a couple of rounds together for themselves, going to get their third on the boards. And in terms of, the Valiant side of things, I think they'll still be okay with the position they are in. They're going to try and save these two guns. Looks like Spirit are going to let them do just that. So the two guns will be saved. But it seems like Spirit are having success on both sides of the map now. So that's really what they will be most happy with. And I guess the question is, do Valiants really want to force here in this position? It looks like they are going to go for the force buy. It's not a terrible buy, all things considered. And I think Inferno is a map where you can play with an up close towards Banana, up into apartments. So I think this force is certainly justified, and we'll get to see if they decide to switch anything up after a couple of losses.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit better than the force that we saw Spirit coming into the previous round with, so I guess you can't really fault them, but that's not a good start once again. As in towards apartments, it's not going to be going well for Intel Hunter. It was also receiving damage by Sotfik, is just spamming into that wall now. The walls are basically paper on this newest version of Inferno, and that really limits the amount of aggression the CTs can go for towards that position. And you can see when they do go for it, it can just be shut down like that. You just don't even need to be able to see it to actually take you down. And now with a one-man advantage, once again, Spirit are happy enough with just continuing on with this default. I don't really think we'll see them go for too much aggression unless it's in groups, unless it's in a situation where they can ensure that they are still going to be able to retain that man advantage and maybe even increase it even further. And here we go, looking to try and finally work their way towards some map control. They make their way slowly up Banana, and it's only one player right now to actually try and hold this, but he is going to have support coming in the form of Nino, who has now begun to rotate back to his position.
50 seconds left, and still Emmy is sitting behind that smoke towards Banana, even without the support from Neno. Now he's deciding to fall back just a little bit. It seems as though Spirit are going to group up around B, so Emmy might have to get some kills here. Neno is behind him, but Emmy might struggle to fall back if the push were to come forwards. And you can see now Spirit going for the push, but Emmy does get 2 kills. I wasn't sure he was going to get anything there, but he even jumps back to safety. With 21 seconds left now, Spirit, they think they can get back towards A. This is going to be a very, very tight affair. And with 2 players still holding A, I don't know if Spirit can get this done.
Yeah, Joxic needs this kill, and that should be the round. He actually allows his teammate to go down first, but the time is so low. If he finds one more here, it should be the round. And there we go. He's going to have it. Should be a knife. Oh, he allows the plant to come in, but he gets it in the end. It's not really too big of a deal. He gets himself a knife also. I guess that's kind of worth it to get that extra economy, especially for the up player. And also gets himself a free up to upgrade off the body of, I believe that was Davkos. So Valiant's coming straight back into it there with their own force by 5-3 as they continue to increase that lead even further. And Spirit for the moment, they themselves are going to be struggling with their economy, but it seems like they are going to buy. It's only really Dima actually who's going to have to maybe go for an SMG or a Galil instead. The rest of the players should be able to get those AKs out and the up onto Davkos, and there we go. A UMP is the only real weak weaponry that they have to use rather. Other than that, it is strong. So it seems like both of his teams, every single round, they're just somehow able to scrape some form of a buy together, and it's been keeping it very intense so far.
Yeah, sometimes when you see a knife kill, when you see like Simple get a knife kill, you kind of feel like he's got some swagger about it. I wouldn't say that about Joxic there. He looked a little bit panicked, but hey, he got the job done, and Valiance will continue to keep their lead. Emmy, by the way, over towards B, he's been having a lot of success, and maybe Spirits have sort of caught on to that. They're trying to go towards A, but there's only one player on B. There's 4 stacked towards this A site. This could be deadly as Intel gets 1 and 2 kills. Cody does push forwards, but look at the frags. The trades come through so quickly. Ooh, Joxic does miss that shot, but Davkos surely isn't going to do anything here.
Interesting choice there by Emmy to push, and similar by Hunter to actually go ahead and jump up Neno. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I thought you saw that player originally. Must have been Spectator Smoke because it didn't seem like he was aware that the player was there. But yeah, I guess Spirit probably going to go ahead and slow this back down once they get the guns out once again, because I believe that was maybe the first fast-paced round they've gone for, and it just looked like they had basically zero success other than the last few moments with Davkos picking up a few kills. But even then, that was kind of on the back of a lot of mistakes being made by Valiance, just kind of pushing solo there. So I think that should have been a much easier round by Valiance, just they did shut down that rush pretty great. But for now, Spirit only going to be working with pistols, so we should see Valiance being able to increase this lead even further. But as I say that, Joxic getting aggressive towards middle, gets caught off guard by a P250. Hunter trying to lock down this AWP and ensure it won't be retrieved. He takes 2 kills in the process, but does end up getting traded out eventually. And nice find by Nino there as he does take down Dima over towards Banana. And now it's all on to Coldy and Sumdai Young. But with those players looking to try and make their way onto A, it seems, and they may be able to catch the back of Intel, but it doesn't seem likely as Intel shuts it down.
Yeah, Valiance making that round look fairly easy. They do get to save the AWP again. As I say that, those Spirits still not going to give up just yet. They have the buy still in their hands. It's not exactly perfect, but Davkos just about gets that AWP. Literally all his money except for $50 going into that one weapon. He's not really been able to find too many entries up until this point, so we'll have to watch out to see if that AWP is worthwhile. Joxic lands the shot, but Sumdai Young will be counting his lucky stars. He survives on 3 HP to start the round. There's still a lot of damage done for Valiance to kick things off.
Yeah, that's a really good start for Valiance. And as you said about Davkos not being so successful at finding these openings, without that Kevlar, that's going to make it even more difficult. Any sort of nades that come in towards him would be very, very detrimental and just do so much damage that it really doesn't allow him to actually go so aggressive. Instead, he's going to be kind of forced back and allow those rifles to actually try and get those openings. I'd like to see SDY trade with Dima. They're interesting enough that he hasn't done so already. 3 HP when he has the AK and his teammate only with a Galil. It would make sense for him to trade that over if he... once they do begin to try and make their way into one of those sites, rather. But for now, Spirit just continuing on with this passive round. As I mentioned, the fast one didn't go well, so I guess they've kind of been conditioned more now into remaining in this default, which is what they have been successful at least claiming themselves a couple of rounds. So looking to try and at least get a few more in this half. Certainly possible, as 40 seconds remains, and Spirit really need to begin getting a move on soon. We don't want to see the time beginning to run down. We don't want to see a repeat of that round where we saw the knife coming in for Joxic. And with 34 seconds left, it looks like they have made their decision. It is going to be out towards middle, or at least the majority of their presence in this position, with the bomb also just awaiting. And actually, it seems like they might be selling a bit of a fake. The rotate coming in at the moment by Valiance. They're going to send 2 more players over to support B. And Hunter is also looking like he may be tempted to go, so as he's just going to be sitting in the arch. Dima doing such a good job right now selling this fake as he finds the kill. Will eventually be traded, but here we go. Now it's going to be onto this player in the pit to try and hold it down, and Intel has no success. Hunter, on the other hand, though, gets himself a quick double, finishing off all the low HP players, and now it's all onto Sotvik in a 1-on-3. Finds that first kill, but that's only 1/3 of the work that's required of him to actually manage to clutch this round out. But look at this repositioning. He's came around towards middle, but I believe he's being spotted by the player towards the bottom of middle, and indeed, Joxic must have given the info to Emmy, and that is going to be another round for Valiance once again.
I was a little bit worried that the bomb plant might have been denied there, because I think the player's sort of feet was sticking out slightly around the corner, but Hunter just decides to kill everyone except the bomb planter. All 3 frags in quick succession. They tried to get the trades quickly, but you saw the players were so low on health that Hunter dispatched of them with ease. And that's the kind of Hunter that Valiance will really be hoping to step up, because I mean, Hunter, I think most people agree, is like the star player on this team, but I feel like he's sometimes a little bit underwhelming. So I'm hoping to see him maybe step up a little bit. It seems like he's consistently good, but I don't know if he ever has that carry performance consistently enough that I'm looking for. So maybe that's a way for Hunter to sort of motivate himself, boost things forwards, because that 3K will certainly boost his confidence. But we're going to have to focus on round 12, because guess what, Dean? It's another force buy from Spirit.
Yeah, and it's not looking good in terms of the utility, and especially considering they've been going for such a slow round overall. They don't really have utility to actually bait out the Molotovs, bait out the smokes from Valiance. They themselves can kind of just sit back and hold on to this for as long as possible until they really have to throw them down. And then Spirit, once they actually decide to go towards the bomb site, those Molotovs just going to be delaying them, keeping them back for quite a while, allowing rotates to come in, allowing the CTs to set themselves up into very solid crossfires and after plant positions. And it looks like it is going to be over towards B. Interestingly enough, at the moment, Valiance are actually playing a pretty heavy CT side setup. They are going to be giving up the B bomb site itself. They have one player back up on the boost, one player playing from the CT spawn itself, peeking out to take the first contact, and he finds 1 kill before getting traded. that's not so bad, as long as we see Neno from that boost being able to take one and fall off and stay alive, allowing them to have the advantage going into the retake. But the gap in the smoke actually does end up working in favor of Team Spirit. It allows his body to be completely exposed, and Neno gets taken down now in a 4-on-3 Spirit. Not looking so healthy in terms of HP, but they do have this man advantage, and they do have control of the bomb site.
Yeah, they'll be looking to hold things off, and Valiance are still probing here. They're looking to see if they can get a quick pick to go for this retake. They do also have some utility left, so that smoke in towards Banana actually could be very, very useful. I think the boost attempt might be coming over the top, but Davkos hasn't spotted Hunter out, so Hunter is going to get that headshot. And now all three players stuck towards Banana as Joxic fires through the smoke for the first, looking for the second. Oh, nearly the double, but still the kills come through. And Valiant successful on that retake. That one smoke did so much to stop Spirit.
Yeah, that was a really nice retake. 3 players for Spirit, though, over on Banana was an interesting choice, I guess. With low HP, they kind of just wanted to play solely on wasting the time on the bomb and not actually take those challenges. But as you can see, a bit of utility remaining for Valiance. I mentioned that they didn't really have to run that down early in the round, so having that for the retake was crucial. And here we go, aggressive push by the Serbs as they look to try and find the openings for themselves. It's going to be Intel once again to find 2. They do lose Hunter in the process, but it is going to be worthwhile for Valiance as they take themselves that one-man advantage. And Spirit now in a 3-on-4, looking to try and claim control of Banana. Spots out the player in CT spawn. But it seems like the peak is going to actually be coming in, interestingly enough, by Emitter. That's a little dangerous peak, but Neno, he's going to use that as a small distraction to find himself the headshot on towards Softic. And now Dima and Coldy looking to try and clutch this one out to deny double digits already for Valiance.
Ooh, Joxic spots the gun barrel, claims the kill. The bomb is nowhere near Dima's position, and I don't think he's going to do anything from this point onwards. Seems like in this round, Valiant's really just kind of picked apart the Spirit team. I think I wouldn't mind them just kind of grouping up to start a round, because these sort of slow defaults haven't really been working. I mean, of course, there was that one round. They tried to go for the quick A play. It really didn't work for them, but it seems like the default is not allowing them to win those opening trades. I think Spirit maybe at this point could have just taken a risk. Either if they wanted to save one round, they could have just taken a risk with pistols, but they kept on forcing. And that kind of, I think, forced Spirit to continue to try and play these sort of default setups that never really have been working for them. So I almost feel like if they had pistols in one of these rounds, they might have had the freedom to go for a really aggressive play and had that chance. But they've had the rifles the whole time, which has kind of made it more difficult. But now they have the pistols, so maybe we will see some aggression come out.
Yeah, that's a good point. They definitely didn't really give the faster paced rounds enough of a chance, only going for it once. And I guess the fact that they did end up getting 3 rounds off of that default, they thought, well, this is working, let's keep going with this. But after losing quite a few now in a row, 6 in a row, actually, I definitely think it's time to try and swap up your game plan, maybe go more aggressive, get up in the face of your opponents. And as you mentioned, having those pistols is the best time to do so. Maybe you have a little bit less fear. You're not as worried like, oh, I can't die right now. I can't go down and put my team at a disadvantage. But when you only have those pistols, just stick in a group, you roll in death squad and try and really just trying to overwhelm the defense on towards whatever site you decide to go towards. And it seems like it will be towards A. Interestingly enough, the up on the site could get taken down if these pistols are able to get themselves up fast enough to actually close the distance. And there we go, nice find by Dima. But as I say, I was going to say that maybe all they find, but Coldy and Sotvik instantly going to be able to find one each, leaving us in a 2-on-2. So out of nowhere, the bomb site under the control of Spirit, and the bomb should be getting planted now any moment.
Interesting plant position. That should be able to be seen from the right side of Pit, but Coldy only has a CZ, so he might struggle to hold that one off. Either way, Sotvik deploys the smoke, but both CTs grouping up to come from short. Hunter going to be trying to go in first. They don't really know exactly where the players are, but they can probably guess a player is still on site after planting the bomb. And you can see Valiant's very aware of that. Hunter going to go in, does get that frag, and now Coldy couldn't quite get the refrag, and that allows Emmy to find his head very quickly. Not a bad round from Spirit, all things considered. They got it down to a 2v2, but just not quite closing out the clutch.
Yeah, even with Hunter on 10-9 towards the bottom of the scoreboard, we can see everyone on Valiance really is doing their job. Emmy's a little bit further ahead. Joxic also a couple kills, but with 3 players on 10, everyone's doing their job. But Hunter, it feels like he's had so many impactful kills, as has Emmy over towards B, and it feels like those 2 players right now are the ones I'm looking towards that have been getting most of the work done, even though the scores, particularly for Hunter, might not show that. But yeah, right now 11-3 in favour of Valiance. Spirit are going to desperately want to take this round if they want to give themselves a chance to try and build the comeback in the following half, and that's not the start they'd want. Hunter through the smoke finds a double, And now we should see the CTs at least falling back off and going back into a more of a passive setup towards both of these bomb sites.
Well, Spirit still kind of spread out, still with the bomb left behind. It looks like this 15th round is very likely going to go the way of Valiance. They're even stacking those 4 players towards A. And that doesn't look good for Spirit's chances because they are currently leaning in towards apartments and that A site. Although having said that, now Neno is going to rotate back towards B. So that makes it slightly easier on the whole, but Joxic is still here with the AWP. And now Neno isn't going back towards B. He's had a second thought. He's coming back towards the A side of the map. And it might be just at the right time because Spirits are lining up their push. Hunter, though, going to get flashed in. He spots the players in the back. And Hunter, again, making the plays. He gets the ace to close out the half. Beautiful stuff.
Did he do 500 damage in that round? I don't think anyone else actually got any damage on anyone, did they?
Ooh. You know what? I can check the graph right now. I'll do some maths. I think he didn't. 953 up to 1,397. Nah, that can't be.
Yeah, I think he must have got a little bit of help towards those 2 banana kills, maybe spamming into the smoke. Also, Emmy, I presume, must have done a small amount of damage, but I don't think anyone assisted them, so he done a great job picking up that ace. A really nice performance coming in. And yeah, 12-3 half in favor of Valiance. They'll be very happy with that, especially considering at one point it was looking like Team Spirit were starting to build up a decent T half. It was, I believe, 4-3 at one point in favor of Valiance and Spirit. They were doing a good job after breaking the economy, but instantly Valiance with a force by their own come back into it, and after that I believe they get 8 in a row. Not at all what you would have wanted if you're a Team Spirit fan.
I've done the maths, Dean. He did 444 damage exactly.
Okay, then yeah, not bad. It must have been Emmy maybe chiming in with 20 damage onto each of those players towards the bottom of banana.
Yeah, maybe a cheeky nade somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, most likely.
Still pretty good, though. I mean, 12-3 at the half. I think at this point we can start to look at minimal stats like that because it's been quite dominant. I mean, I say that. You look at the scoreboard, there's actually been quite a few bomb plants for Spirits, but it never really felt like they were in control of too many of those rounds. There were a couple of times where they did have like the man advantage, but Valiant still had a lot of utility for the retakes. But enough about that first half. We're going to have to focus on this second half because Spirits will be hoping they can win the pistol to give them any chance here on Inferno.
Yeah, if the pistol goes in favor of Valiance, I think they'll just close this out right now, and it'll probably be Spirit instead looking over towards Mirage to try and get that for themselves. And this is the map pick of Spirit, correct? Yeah, I just haven't been informed that it is indeed correct that this is the map choice of Spirit. So, yeah, this is probably not what they were expecting coming into this game. But let's see if they're going to be able to step it up on the defense instead. And it looks like they are going to try and show some confidence early on, pushing straight down middle. Dima, he finds the first one. Didn't look like he was going to be able to connect that shot, but he does eventually do so. Emmy going to be able to find one to trade it back and gets a second, as it's not looking so good anymore for the CT side. But desperately, they are going to be trying to bring it back, and they seem to be having some success at doing so. Of course, and Sunda Young end up putting the advantage back in favor of Team Spirit. And now on a 2-on-3, where will Valiance decide to take this?
Ooh, Davkos does tap off that head, so it's just Hunter left. We've seen him make some plays in these recent rounds. A 1v3, though, is still going to be quite tricky to pull off. He does have the P2000 in hand, alongside one flashbang. With a little over a minute left on the clock, he's going to come back towards A. Davkos is holding this angle, but Hunter will clear it. Ooh, not quite doing the damage for the frag. However, he might just make his way onto the A site and get the free plant here. And all things considered, Hunter has found a cheeky gap to get that bomb plant. So that's the money in the bank. Now it's all about winning this clutch as he's going to try and look for a quick pick. Still not going to find it. Spots the man. Still no headshot. It's a sloppy fight, but finally gets the kill. Still 2 more to find, and he doesn't expect the second. So Davkos stepping up with the 3K, and Spirit keeping themselves alive here on their own map pick.
Yeah, that was a very crucial round. That does give them the chance now to actually try and build this comeback, but while we are just after finishing this round, I'm going to go ahead and say for all those watching, don't forget to go ahead and check out Farmskins. You can get yourself some nice skins. It is a site where you're able to open some cases, etc. And there is also some other stuff, I believe. I'm not too familiar, but yeah, you can get yourself some nice knives, such as the one you see on your screen at the moment. That Slaughter by Hunter is really nice. Maybe you could unbox yourself one of those. But right now, we are going to get back into it. At least the bomb plant comes in for Valiant, so we aren't really going to see any sort of investment. They'll be looking instead towards the following round to just get those rifles out. And I like this. There's no real need for a force buy when you have such a massive lead. No real need to throw away any rounds. Just get those rifles out, get the best buys you can, and make sure that you get those final 4 rounds. As right now, it looks like they will just try and go for a bit of a faster paced round. Group up with these pistols, just try and maybe take down a couple of players if they can.
Here we go, push out top mid, the pistols trying to get up close, but very smart play to fall back. Having said that, Emmy is going to get that one kill, and you can see the push still coming in. Although Sumdai Young is going to stop the first man, the bomb will still get onto the site. So Joxic, thinking of where he wants to plant this one, eventually decides to plant fairly safe. And Spirit now have to line up this retake with only 3 players left. There is a little bit of utility left for them to utilize as that incendiary forces Joxic out. He doesn't get punished, but the information coming in, and now he's taken low, but he still gets the frag. Oh, this is going horribly wrong for Spirit as another kill comes in. This might just settle things. Joxic actually gets dinked by his teammate, but Sumdai Young will be overwhelmed. I think that might just settle things. Spirit now are going to be on the back foot, and what an unfortunate round to lose.
Oh, yeah. I think that might be the game. Spirit forcing into this one, of course. If they lose this one, they'll be on another forcing what is going to be already going to be a 14-4 lead for Valiance. So if they want to go for that econ play for overtime, of course they could, but I don't even know if that'd be worth it at this point. Maybe they should be focused on Mirage instead. But for now, let's see what they're going to be able to get done with these pistols. By no means can you count those out. After all, this is CSGO. We know the damage that they can do, as well as those SMGs and that Mag 7 in the hands of Sumdai Young, as they actually do decide to take those aggressive up towards the apartments, go towards these much closer range positions to try and find those early kills, maybe upgrade themselves towards one of those rifles if possible. But Valiance, knowing that they're not up against the strongest buy, will play this fairly passively overall, other than sending a couple of players up Banana to try and trade out any players who'd be peaking that position.
Sumdai Young has that Mag 7 into apartments, and Hunter, getting dangerously close, does, however, get the headshot. And Letney also claims a kill. Davkos finds the one trade, but it's just not enough. Solid play from Valiance. After finding the quick headshots, that was really all they needed. Davkos had to give away his position for the trade. And, oh, Nano struggling. Will actually fall. Only the MP9 lost, though, and at this point, again, Valiance have basically got the round in the bag, so they won't be too worried. Oh, here comes the nade. Boom. He's dead. He's dead.
Perfect.
Not much else to say, really. I mean, yeah, if this is how Spirit's map pick is going to go, I'm a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and I'd say Mirage, if anything, is an even better map for Valiant, so I'm definitely scared for Spirit at the moment. It's not looking so good. They're not really performing as I'd say most people in the chat know they can. I think they performed a little bit better the previous yesterday, didn't they? They did lose, but they definitely performed a lot better than this. We saw them having players actually step up some of their stars. Davkos, I believe, had quite a few solid rounds with the AWP. SDY, Sumdai Young, this time he's not really stepping it up at all. He was a player that I said at the start we would look towards him, and maybe also Coldy is another player that can really step it up and maybe take over a map by himself rather. But yeah, it's just not happening right now, and you can see that because of the scoreline. That's definitely reflecting what's currently going on. Everyone on Valiance is doing their job. Everyone's getting the kills when they're required. Spirit, on the other hand, not quite doing so. And now a full eco going to be coming in. Other than that, Deagle and Kevlar that was saved by Coldy. So plan right now for Spirit, maybe get a couple of kills if possible. Ideally, they want to win the round due to the current scoreline. They can't really afford to lose any rounds, but playing for overtime does seem to be what they are going to go for. Maybe just try and get a few gun rounds in a row, start to build themselves up some momentum, and try and get themselves back into this before heading on towards Mirage. But this eco should be gone easily enough in favour of Valiance.
Yeah, Davkos had his gun barrel sticking out, unfortunately for him, but SDY did get the trade. Valiance are actually somewhat spread out here. This isn't exactly the best anti-eco play. You can see Intel in dangerous waters. SDY still up close. He might spot the head. This is so awkward. There come the shots. And SDY finally finds the frag. He did, however, have to trade from his teammate, and now they know exactly where the last man is. So despite Valiance not necessarily playing this round perfectly, they are 14-4 up. I think we can sort of let them off. It looks like they will still win the round as Emmy just
close.
About gets the final kill.
Jumping there with the MP9, Sumdai Young almost taking down, was it Nano or Emmy? Brought him down to like 3 HP, I think. That was dangerous. Yeah, that could have been a bit scary either. Hunting with those AKs, I guess it's not really a big deal when it's so late into the game. Spirit at least getting themselves a decent buy into this one. It's not everything they want, but they have a couple of rifles. They have the FAMAS, they have 2 M4s, a UMP, and Davkos even gets the glass cannon AWP. But look at this by Valiance. They keep that one Mac 10. They're going to send it in front of the charge, and look, they just try and find his opening kill. It'll be Intel to find the first, but the Mac 10 will eventually be able to take down Sotvik on long. And now this A-Rap is going to be so difficult for that player in pit to try and hold, and I think this is probably going to be the game now in favour of Valiance, as it is going to be a 1v4, rather a 1v5 for Coldy as he finds the force to bring that down to a 1v4.
Valiance not wanting to waste our time. They know this game is done, and they are going to finish it in style. Unless Coldy can pull off the impossible. They are pushing him one by one, but Coldy actually gets that third kill there. He's
Yeah, they're going to
try and go for this one. I mean, he does pick up the smoke. No, not happening though. Valiance hold it off for a 16-4 first map. Very, very convincing stuff, and we'll have to wait and see if Spirit can improve heading into Mirage. It doesn't seem likely, but I guess we'll have to see after the break.
Thank you, Hawkeye, and thank you, Dean. Amazing game from Valiance on Inferno, taking down Team Spirit 16-4, as we just witnessed. Every single player stepped up for Valiance and practically destroyed Spirit on their map pick. Second map that's on their way is Mirage, and it's picked by Valiance. But Danny, let's talk a bit about that match, and Spirit again on Inferno, 12-3, but not in their favor this time.
Yeah, amazing plays by Valiance on the map. They didn't pick, it's Spirit's pick on Inferno. So really great start for them. I mean, 12-3 in the first half. It's quite amazing because, okay, they decided to go City, and they knew how much Spirit struggled yesterday on when they were on T side against Ago. So I mean, 16-4. I mean, I'm quite glad that Emi stepped up. Joxic as well. He connected those shots he missed yesterday, and Hunter was there as well. So quite amazing performance. On the other side, Spirit. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just 4 rounds. They got out-fragged on almost every part of the map. They got destroyed in every aspect of the game. So, I mean, quite convincing score for Valiance.
Yeah, and that round that happened on A side where Joxic first whiffs a guy, then kind of baits his teammate on side to die. Then he pulls out a knife and goes for a knife kill. And on the other hand, I guess Spirit player just wanted a plant in that situation because they already had 5 seconds left to plant the bomb. But that's money for AWP player. That getting a knife kill, definitely always a pleasure seeing a knife into the play. But I love the sneaky ones when you sneak behind them and just surprise them. Like, hey, surprise.
Well, yeah, Valiance really played super aggressive in the first half, and Spirit had some problems in the post-plant game. I mean, having 4 players alive on B side. Okay, they had pistols and CZs, and 3 guys are coming from City. Only 1 guy is in that dark place, you know, on B side, and 3 guys. But then, so 1 smoke just finished the round in favor of Valiance. It was like that Ninja Sparkles defuse, and yeah, they had some problems here and there. But that's overall it's just 4 rounds for Team Spirit.
Yeah, that will be it for Valiance and company and Team Spirit on Inferno. Next map that's on its way is Mirage, and it's picked by Valiance and company. So we are going for a short commercial break, and we'll see you shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Farmskins Championship here in Belgrade, Serbia, in eFrag studio. I am Rama, and I will be your host for today. And together with me in studio is Danny. So we just witnessed first match between Valiance and company and Team Spirit. Valiance managed to take a win with the score of 16-4 on Inferno. That was Spirit's pick. The next map that we're going to discuss right now is Mirage, and it's picked by Valiance. Yesterday we said that Valiance maybe didn't have that much of a good performance against Pride. They were in deficit at the beginning, losing 7-1, even though they won that anti-force buy against Pride. But as we all know, players make mistakes. Maybe it wasn't their day. Joxic didn't really have a good game, and you need it. AWP player for that map, especially because I think if he had a good game, he will shut down that mid control from Pride. Not every single time, but let's say, I don't know, 7 out of 10 times, and not allow them to take that mid control. But who knows? Maybe he will play a lot better today, and maybe he will have a duel with Davcost. What do you think about Mirage? Who takes this one?
I think Valiance has this. I mean, yes, yesterday they had a bad day, we should say like that. But Valiance and Team Spirit already clashed their swords, or I should say guns at this point, at Hellcase Cup somewhere in October. And they played on Cobblestone and Mirage, and they won on Mirage 16-6. But yeah, Spirit at that time had their old player. Now some young stepped in, but we'll see. Yesterday he played good on both maps against Ago. But on the Inferno, I don't know if I should say if he's the only one that was bad or everyone from the team. I think Spirit just had a bad performance on Inferno. But I think Valiance have what it takes to win this game, especially Joxic. He couldn't connect his shots yesterday on Mirage, but after seeing him on Inferno right now, I mean, on the previous map, I think he will step up much more than he did yesterday.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see maybe a totally different game from both teams. Maybe Spirit can come back on Mirage as well. You said 3 maps.
Yeah, I said 3 maps, but from what I've seen in the first map, I think it will be...
Changing minds here and there. But yeah, of course, after seeing that dominant performance from Inferno, you would say that it's their pick. They should take this 2-0 and not eliminate themselves from tournament. Hopefully they can move forward together with Spirit, but again, it's elimination match, it's GSL format group stage, and it's do or die for both of these teams. That's why maybe Valiance is playing a lot better than they did yesterday. Maybe a lot more pressure on them to perform well, especially because it's one of their first matches of 2018. But we are going live for about, I don't know, 60 seconds, so prediction for Mirage.
Should I guess the result?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I would say, because both teams are great on Mirage, maybe their best maps, I would say 16-11 for Valiance.
16-8 Valiance from me.
All right.
And that will be it here from the analyst desk in eFrag's studio. We are shortly going live, and of course together with our casters Dean and Hoka.
Thank you very much, Remo. Indeed, we are here again, the Farmskins Championship #2, and we are here to see if Spirit can pull off the comeback. After losing fairly handily in the first map, we're going to have to see if Mirage is going to go their way, but doesn't seem very likely, does it, Dean?
Oh no! After that previous performance, I'd hope that they maybe have some cheerleaders behind them trying to put that spirit into them, because they definitely didn't look like themselves in that previous map, and they're going to need to come in now completely rejuvenated. And I hope we do see them perform better. I'm not going to lie. I want to see some good CS. That's why I'm here. It can be a little bit boring, of course, and both casting and watching just very one-sided CS. You always want to see those very intense games, and I'm hoping we do see one of those. But I do think it will go in favor of Valiance. Maybe similar to what was mentioned on the desk, maybe about that. Maybe just about reaching double digits, maybe just below it, about 16-8, 16-9, 16-10, I think it'll be. I'm not going to give too exact of an answer.
Yeah, I think I pretty much agree. Like, I didn't really see anything from Spirit to make me think that they're going to win on Mirage of all maps, where Valiance definitely will feel confident. Spirit, though, do win the knife round, so that's a small consolation, maybe just boosting that motivation a bit, trying to kick things off, and they will get to start on the CT side. Let's see what they have in mind. Actually, I think Mirage is quite an interesting map for pistol rounds. Fairly often you'll see on the T side teams go for A smokes, and oftentimes the CT teams don't really try to hold A. They will play for a retake. They will play very passively. So let's see what Spirit's setup has in mind, because they are going to have 2 players towards A, and those players might have to do a lot of work. But as I say that, it's actually a 3 stack that Valiance might run into.
Oh yeah, and also that one player in the window who can rotate so fast. This is going to be really dangerous. Look at this setup also right now. It's going to be a triangle of doom between Sandwich, CT, and Under Palace. So this may be a little bit difficult. Valiance perhaps expecting the retake setup, going to be going for these smokes and hoping that the players will be behind them. But it seems like instead, Spirit are more than happy enough to just go ahead and take this duel and try and shut this down. Similar to what we've seen coming in, I guess, on the first pistol round of Inferno by Valiance. Just want to try and connect all their shots here. But here we go, finally they will begin moving in. The first player in Sandwich should be getting contact any moment now, but he's not able to find any intel. Instead wins out that battle, rather, and Emmy wins it on player towards Under Palace as well, rather. So every single kill going in favour of Valiance. No look at all for Spirit. And it's all on to Demon now. He's going to be the last man left standing, and yeah, he's going to connect that first shot at least, but I think that's just a small consolidation frag at this point. As, yeah, there's not really too much he can do. Already backing off, maybe just trying to save that Kevlar, and don't give the extra $300, I guess, to Valiance.
It's pretty brutal to lose the round in that fashion when you have the players stacked onto A and you don't even get a single kill on the hold. I can imagine that might be a little bit demotivating, but Spirit are just going to have to look beyond that. They're going to have to concede the pistol. There's a Valiance spot out where Dima is positioned, and all 4 players are looking to converge on his position. Don't know if Dima will be getting out alive here as they overwhelm him. There we go, 1 kill for Dima, but nothing else. So the trade comes out. We will get to see Spirit likely go for the Force, but not before a pause comes in. You can see, though, the buy is coming out. Davkos might try to safely also.
That's yeah, I had this glitch all day yesterday. That is constantly on the stream during freeze time for some reason. I made the same mistake and started saying it seems like a pause is coming in, but it's very confusing. I don't know why it's on our screen. It says match paused while the freeze time is on every single time. But yeah, the first bite coming in by the Spirit side, it is going to be actually Coldy and Davkos deciding to not fully invest into this one. So I think that it could be possible we see a double up setup trying to come out on this first gun round, and I think that could be the adaptation that Spirit need. Over on Inferno, they were kind of just getting shut down. Davkos wasn't having too much luck with the op, and I think they need someone to be able to find those opening kills. So trying the 2 of them could be interesting, but yeah, Valiant's making their way up short. This should be an easy enough round unless some amazing shots are hit by Davkos and the other player on his bomb site. But there we go, Davkos! Sundai Young also able to take down Joxic, and in a flash it is going to be all in favour of the CT side, as it's 2 players now that remain for Valiance. Emmy and Intel looking to try and still make their way out onto this B bomb site, where currently all 4 CTs remain, and the flank coming in by Intel really could get it done. He does eventually find that kill, may find a second, but he's shut down by Sotvik, and now it's all on to Emmy.
I believe the AKs there from Valiance were out towards mid. Maybe one of them was in towards apartments, and they only had those 2 AKs, and those were dropped very, very quickly, so that at the end of the round, it was just those 2 players with MAC-10s trying to close it out. And that was just never really going to happen. Again, though, great shots from Davkos. You can't take that away from him. Valiance couldn't really play around that one too much. And they will now themselves go for the Force buy, but they do have decent enough utility if they want to go again towards the A side of the map. They had success here in the pistol round, and with Coldy playing fairly passively in towards CT, these smokes might allow a fairly easy bomb plant.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the bomb should at least be going down. It seems like Sotvik is going to be trying to actually challenge in through the smoke towards jungle, but he does just begin to fall back off. His teammates would have called just allow for them to have the bomb site. We'll play this together, and that's actually a really nice push coming in by Valiant, taking some initiative, pushing in towards jungle, trying to take the map control while only these pistols, and it's not gone so bad. The 2-on-2 trade isn't a terrible position right now for Valiance, and still trying to get more. If they were able to find 1 more kill, maybe there could have been possible, and right now it looks like it should still be the round gone in favour of Spirit. Ideally, Neno finds himself 1 more kill, caused the reinvestment, and as you can see, he has been successful in doing so, but he does eventually fall, and there we go, Spirit been able to chain the 2 rounds together. Already looking better than it was on Inferno, I must say.
Yeah, not too bad, especially after losing the pistol round. That was a really, really dominating round loss for them, but they get straight back into things with 2 in a row. And Valiance, in this particular round, shouldn't really have any considerable investment. Having said that, Spirit have gone for full rifles here. So if you take a look at their money, it's really not looking great. They need to make sure they hold on to as many of these guns as possible. So even though this is a low buy for Valiance, it's actually still fairly important that Spirit win this round quite cleanly, just to make sure they can build up money in case they want that AWP for Davkost or even that double AWP you were talking about previously.
Yeah, but I think Valiance, I don't know if they're going to really have too much success in this round. They have the couple flashes, they have the smoke, but it seems like right now they're taking it towards middle, and I don't think they're expecting the full set of rifles to be up. They're expecting maybe a couple SMGs, something that they can take these long-range fights against, and as you can see, when it's an M4 instead taking this fight up mid, it's just going to be complete carnage as Sotvik takes down 4 players. And Intel being the last man standing now, his position is going to be known towards Palace, wants to try and desperately find at least 1 kill in the process, and spamming away with this Eagle, he's yet to have any success, and there we go. Coldy is going to be able to close that round out. But now Spirit to take that 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that's the advantage of playing in Connector. You see the flashes go all the way up top over mid. He's got that cover above him, so he doesn't get blinded whatsoever, sees all of the players push in towards him, and Sotvik makes it easy for Spirit to build up that cash they were looking for. Valiance now do have the full buy back in their hands, although they are lacking the AWP for Joxic. He's only going to have the AK to play with, so mid-presence could be a difficulty as Davkost takes surprising damage from that molly, down to 60 early on. It looks like Valiance have got a couple of players focused towards mid, so they're still going to try and go for presence. But their utility might make things difficult, especially as Davkost gets that opening pick.
Yeah, I like that from Davkost. He's shown more initiative already than he was over on Inferno. He goes for the repeat once the Molotov dissipates, and because of that, he's actually going to be able to find the opening kill. Puts that one-man advantage in favor of Valiance, in favor of Spirit rather. But Valiance are able to bring that back almost instantly by finding an opening onto the B-bomb site. But Dima, of course, is still alive, playing this close angle towards short. And the only problem is if he gets double-faced there, it could be extremely dangerous. And as you can see, there, Intel and Jox are going to play that one well. Peeking together, ensure that they pick up that kill, and then on a 3-on-3 they have the bomb planted, but still some utility remaining for the CT side to work with. Davkost with the up though could complicate things a little bit, but as he pushes around the smoke, he may be able to find one, but no gap allows for him to actually spot out that player who's playing up close. And now the bomb beginning to tick away. They need to get a move on.
And it looks like they will try to, as Sotvik survives on just 1 HP. Intel still holding up close, and he gets a quick headshot, but Davkost is there for the trade. It's back to a 1v1, the smoke towards the bomb, but the time is fairly low. Davkost trying to stick the defuse, Neno lining it up. Oh, that was close, but he just about finds the frag he needed. A very, very intense end to the round, but it is Valiance who just about get their second round together. Spirit, though, should still be good for the buy, with Davkost and Sotvik buying up the AWPs. So a double AWP setup for Spirit. Let's see if this makes the difference.
It's actually, Sotvik has dropped that over towards Sumdai Young. I don't think we've seen him go for a secondary op quite the other day. Yeah, but I don't think we've seen that double up coming in on Sumdai Young yesterday when I was casting Team Spirit, so it'll be interesting to see what he's able to get done. But right now, he's actually just bringing it over towards the B apartment, so he's looking to try and post up on this position, ensure that if anyone from Valiance decides to try and get any control towards B apartments, he has a position where he can find that kill, then just fall back off, and there we go, Davkost in the exact same position as the previous round. He finds the opening kill once again to put that advantage in favour of Team Spirit. But the question is rather, will they be able to actually capitalise on that opening this time?
Yeah, he's going to reroute back towards A. In the meantime, the second AWP into apartments gets such an easy kill. Sumdai Young always going to get that frag. Hunter doesn't even use any utility and doesn't really have any support there, so trying to make a play doesn't work out. And Davkost, ooh, nearly had the chance for another frag, but just misses that shot. Intel is still trying to work something with the AWP on the T side of things, but not quite happening just yet. And with 47 seconds left, Valiance are going to try and scrim this A site, but another kill comes out. Sotvik should get this trade, and Intel will likely have nothing left to do with just the AWP in his hands.
Yeah, this is the best case scenario right now for Spirit, completely resetting the economy of Valiance. If they lose, well, rather, not if, I'd say once they lose this round now, once Intel does go down, or maybe if he tries to save that AWP, which it doesn't seem to be his decision, instead, maybe try and just get the bomb down, get that extra $800 for his team to work with, and that means that they won't be maybe on the double eco, maybe they'll only have to go for the 1 eco, and I think that'd be ideal, but once he gets spotted, it's basically over. 14 seconds, he begins to back off, and yeah, really good situation right now for Spirit, being able to completely break the economy of Valiance, staying alive with 4 players, and I think they're actually going to try and hunt down this up, but they themselves can't really afford to lose too many weapons, especially not one of these AWPs, and there you go, one of them has been dropped by Intel. Davkost is going to lose his, and that means most likely now Sumdai Young is probably going to have to drop his one that he was utilising quite well towards the B apartments over to Davkost.
Well, Valiance don't really have any money left, so might as well force around this AWP. We'll get to see if Intel can find anything in this round, because previously he really didn't have any chance before his teammates went down. He did still get that exit kill, as you were saying, but looks like Intel is currently going to go out towards B apartments. Smoke is deployed, though, so he won't find much success. In the meantime, the AWP on the CT side also playing fairly aggressive. Davkos could be in danger there, but that angle in towards ramp is generally fairly good to be able to try and get that first pick and then fall back. It seems as though Valiance are much more focused on the mid presence. There are a couple of Spirits players here. And with the rifles, you would think they should be able to win the fights, but the push towards underpass means Sophic could be in some trouble.
Yeah, Sotfik needs to be very careful right now in this position he's currently at. He doesn't really have the possibilities for a trade, but I guess really Dima from short maybe could catch a couple of players as they run up connector, but if they're to try and just take him down from outside connector, then I don't think Dima's actually going to be able to spot them, and I like this boost coming in right now from Intel, boosted up to try and spot any players in window, and luckily for him though, there's no one actually positioned right there at the moment.
Sophic comes in now, but the timing not quite right as Emmy takes a ton of damage down to 7 HP. Bomb currently leaning out towards B apartments, and there are still 2 Spirit players committed to the B site hold, and Intel still not finding a pick. Rattles off the shot, but isn't going to connect. So it looks as though with 30 seconds left on the clock, Valiant will try and group up around the B site, but they are still fairly spread out here. They need to go for this push now.
Yeah, and they will finally do so, and not really too much utility left for the Spirit side, but when they have such a heavy firepower advantage, I don't really think that it's going to be too big of a deal. Intel, the only one that really has any sort of weaponry, and he's instantly going to get taken down after only finding that 1 kill onto Sumdai Young. So once again, looking like Team Spirit should be able to take this round at least moderately cleanly, but no, never mind. Neno hitting some amazing shots with that CZ, but doesn't have time. Instead, going to be able to save the opponent. Say that's a pretty decent situation right now for Neno. The only problem is with his team eco in this next round, once they do go onto that buy in the follow, and I don't think he's going to have enough to buy, so that could be a small problem.
Yeah, even with saving the AWP, as you were saying, you don't get the money for it, so could be an issue heading into the future for Valiance, especially considering the rest of the team doesn't necessarily have the best of money in the bank either. We are going to see Neno see if he can try to work some magic out towards mid, but Spirit's not really too interested in peeking that AWP. They are aware it was saved, so they're just going to play back in towards connector. Again, Sophic looks to hold on to that position. He's not going to go aggressive. He knows that the mid presence is there, and he's just going to let Valiance have it. Now the question is, with 4 players in towards mid, what can Valiance do? There's maybe the chance they could get up close into connector, but now Sophic has decided to fall back. So it seems less and less likely Valiance are really going to get that opening pick.
Yeah, I think if they do make their way towards A, it could be a bit of a blender, but as I say that, with Sotfik peeking out a window, that's a bit of a mistake, perhaps handing away a kill. Luckily enough for his own sake, that weapon not quite yet retrievable, but we could see Valiant attempt to go for a boost to try and pick up that weapon also, and give themselves the chance to maybe have an extra avenue of attack, send the player in through window in towards jungle, and as I say that, Davkos finds Neno. The op is dropped, it's handed over to Joxic, at least the primary opper for this Valiant side, but he's yet to get himself onto the board, and he's still going to be denied doing so, as the headshot comes in by Davkos to completely shut down this push from connector.
Coldie's pushed all the way through Palace, out to T-spawn. Now he's flanking through mid, although I'm not sure Davkos will be aware the push is likely coming out from ramp. It's still only let me know with a Glock in hand, so it shouldn't be a massive issue. And as the time ticks down, Coldie is making the flank happen. This is going to be a free kill from behind. With 20 seconds left, Sumdai Young also chimes in with a kill of his own. Just the Glock left, and with 14 seconds, he does pick up the AWP, but probably just wants to die off here and get that money. 9 seconds, there we go. Davkos finds a triple and a nice little confidence booster as Spirits get their 6th.
Yeah, but now with the buy coming in for Valiance, as I mentioned, Neno, due to saving that up in the round before, he isn't really going to have the money to fully invest into this one. Instead, he's going to be stuck on a pistol if he wants to actually try and get anything else. But Mach 10, interestingly enough, he's going to go for, with a bit of utility also, and 4 rifles for the rest of his teammates. So no op at the moment for Joxic, but then again, he hasn't really been having the most impact with it so far, even when he did get that out. So maybe we could see a bit of a faster paced round now coming in from Valiance as 2 players towards top mid, 3 in the B apartments. I think a B split is looking pretty possible right now. And the aggression by the CT side could be something that can maybe completely deny at least one avenue of attack, as they may just deny Joxic, and I believe that is intel any control towards middle at all, as they've now been forced back off. And Someday Young once again on this angle with the op. The only problem is if he misses this, he could be trapped in his corner. There is a Molotov available for Hunter to flush him out of that position also, and with Joxic finding that opening kill towards the top of mid, it's not looking so great now for Spirit, as this B split may be looking imminent to come in any moment, but actually it seems like they have cancelled it.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Getting the opening pick with over a minute left means they can afford to reassess the situation. And grouping all 5 players up towards B apartments should have a fairly good chance in this particular round. Someday Young is currently solo holding B. And I think this will be something you see quite commonly. When a team goes down to 4 players on the CT side, it's much easier to just try and have one player solo hold B, with there only being one avenue of attack. So Someday Young is going to have to try and hold off. The flash comes in, but he does get that first kill. Now, though, the bomb will get on towards the site, so Valiance can get that one planted. Question is, do they really have the best post-plant positions? We'll have to wait and see, because the smokes are now coming in. They are, though, all stuck on towards the site, so it might not be too easy, but a 4v4 retake is still also fairly difficult for Spirit.
Yeah, and you see how impactful the mid presence that was shown earlier on is actually for the Valiant side, because Sotvik really can't just make his way over to the bomb site. He has to be so cautious, clearing every position, and you can see his teammates at the moment are going to be waiting for him to finally get himself up towards short to give them that position to try and actually go for the retake from, but that's not a good start. Emmy finds the first on the Coldy, flicks over on towards Someday Young also, and Hunter successfully finding one more should put this round in favour of the Valiant side, and he's able to close it out also by taking down Sotvik. And yeah, that was a really nice round coming in by Valiant. That early presence towards middle, it was a bit of a thorn in the side for Spirit, I guess, once they actually had to go for that retake, because they had to be so cautious of it. They had to be wary of any flanks that could be coming in. They had to be wary of any players trying to just sit around and hold to try and cut off any rotates, and because of that, the time just ran down way too low before they even got into position.
Yeah, and this almost feels somewhat familiar of Inferno now, because both teams really not having the cash built up. This time around, it's Valiance with probably the slightly weaker buy, but actually, to be fair, Spirit also have an SMG in the mix, so neither side too happy. And with those SMGs in play, Valiants are going to try and go quickly towards B. SDY gets the 1 kill on the hold, and they're not quite pushing towards him yet. Someday Young gets a second. Finally, the trade comes out, and Joxic also nails a shot with the AWP. An important one at that to bring us back to a 3-on-3. And Davkos was also tagged very low from that AWP there. And with that AWP still being into apartments, this makes it much more difficult on the retake.
Yeah, Davkos on so low HP at the moment also with that AWP, not really going to have any sort of maneuverability to actually try and make his way in towards the site. And as you can see, due to the low HP, due to Sotvik only having that MP9, no Kevlar and a UMP on Coldy, they've already decided to just go ahead and save. So Valiance, it was looking a little bit shaky there after the first 2 kills did go in favour of Team Spirit, but able to bring themselves back into it. And winning this one with 3 players now, breaking the economy of Spirit once again after fully investing into this round. We should see an eco now coming out, and that'll allow Valiance to really begin to close this gap.
Yeah, even with these saved guns, they're only saving 2 SMGs and the AWP. So it doesn't exactly look great for them. Maybe they could go for a Force Buy, but in my opinion, 1 eco should be enough to get a decent enough buy together. I think I'd prefer them to just go for the heavy eco here. Ooh, we do see Sotvik go for Kevlar, though. He's down to $1,200. The money not looking great. Someday Young also buys up the Kevlar there, so those little investments do really add up in terms of that upcoming buy if they wanted it. But at the same time, Spirit might just be playing to try and get some success in this round. We are going to see Davkos post up in towards Palace with the AWP, but he won't get any action to start the round. Valiants, in the meantime, are all out towards mid. It looks like Spirit will, again, concede that portion of the map without any fight.
Such a strange investment from Someday Young into this round. I guess his plan is that to have that Kevlar, so if his teammates get a kill, he can pick up the weapon, but still, he's putting himself very low on economy for the next round. And look at this right now from Hunter. He's got himself into such a solid position. He's been able to creep straight up through the window, found a little hole that was left in the defense, and because of that, he's going to be able to get the backstab in towards the CT spawn. And I'd presume now we will just see Valiance regrouping towards it, especially with that kill being found, of course. And with 3 players awaiting from the CT side, it could be a little bit dangerous, but then again, Hunter from behind. Let's see what he's going to be able to get done. Will he go for the knife, or will he wait and see how many players he can spot out? And just as Davkos begins to retreat back, he will go ahead and capitalise on the 1 kill that has been given to him for free.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's the AWP drop down makes it worth to just get that kill. And Hunter keeps on fragging as he finds a second with that recovered AWP. Spirit do have 1 AK in hand, and Hunter actually decides to throw away the AWP. On the T side, that's certainly not a bad idea. No need to save it. And Spirit, again, it seems like not going to get anything else done. I guess Sumdar Young can save that Kevlar he invested if he really wants to, but not exactly the greatest of saves for Spirit.
Oh no, not by any means. Sotvik at least saving that AK will... Oh, actually, some of that Young picks up the MP9, but I don't even think that would be worthwhile really carrying into this following round. But the fact that he has that Kevlar means that he kind of has to save. But either way, I presume that he will go ahead and upgrade his way towards the M4, already working with that body armor. Also getting $2,400 due to the money bonus. He will be able to afford at least a couple bits of utility, maybe a smoke and a flash or something, as I believe he is the B anchor also. So that is going to be something that he does require. So I guess we'll find out now if he decides to keep this or not. But yeah, the economy's still not looking so great for the Spirit side. Valiance right now, at one point this was looking like Spirit had been able to get themselves straight back into the series, but Valiance building up some of that momentum and confidence that we've seen on Inferno once again, and that could be scary for the Spirit side. For hope for their own sake now that they don't get rolled over. And Davcost, once he gets back onto this off once again, it's going to be a glass cannon, and let's see what he's going to be able to get done. And with the amount of utility that's been used towards middle in the past, this is really going to slow him down, and he's just going to be forced to hang back in connector now as the Molotovs and nades completely destroy his plan of going for that opening pick.
Yeah, it's been a fairly big part of Valiance's opening strategy to gain mid control. That's what a lot of teams will try to do. Sometimes you do see the CTs actually try and push up mid with 3 players to cut that off. We're yet to see Spirit go for that sort of aggression, but this time around they have stopped the mid push. That's allowing Davcost to post up on this position. Again, this connector angle is quite strong to do this, although he does have to be a little bit worried of underpass, but Dima is trying to watch that one for him. So he's just going to keep posted up on this angle. Unfortunately for him, it looks as though Valiant's not too interested in going for the mid play. They've got plenty of nades left if they want to go towards a site. With 55 seconds left, it seems fairly likely they have made up their minds that they want to come in towards A.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very awkward for Team Spirit right now. As we can see, there is a setup of 2 players over towards connector, but if a smoke goes down towards jungle, both of those players are going to be kind of forced back, and Coldie's going to be left alone on the bomb site with basically 0 help. So let's see if Sotvik is going to be able to get anything done from this position, but Flash has gone down. Smoke's also going to be pushing them back over towards the connector position once again, and now 5 towers just piling out onto this bomb site will be able to find that open, and it's Coldie that goes down to the hands of Neno, and Sotvik desperately trying to trade something back into the smoke, but no success yet. Only a small amount of damage has been connected so far in favour of Spirit, as Valiance in a 5-on-4 now. They can get themselves into very solid afterplant positions.
Oh, Hunter on the lurk should hear the step. Such an awkward fight, and Hunter gets a second. He hears the steps of Sumdar Young, who finally gets the trade. And ooh, Sotvik gets 2 incredibly quick kills. A very explosive turn of events as we go back into a 2-on-2. But Joxic is still holding with the AWP. Sumdar Young just peeks on towards him. And it's a 1-on-1. Neno forced out. And Sotvik gets the defuse. No. He gets the kit finally.
It's going to be close. I think he just about has it, but yeah, that's a really big mistake by Valiance. Just, oh, lads, it's a 5-on-2. We have the round. Everyone peek. And no, not going to happen when Sotvik hits some shots like that, as does Davcost. That flick that he was able to connect onto the player on ramp was actually really amazing, especially considering the fact that he was being shot from Palace. If he didn't get that, that would have left Sotvik in a 1-on-2, which would have been very difficult to clutch out with no defuse kit. So really good performance there by Spirit, getting themselves around, and the 9 Valiants from being able to equalise the scoreline. As it looks like right now they're going to be going for a bit of a change in their game strategy. They're not going to be going for that mid control anymore. Instead, just going straight into this AXQ, perhaps maybe noticing a bit of a weakness, noticing that Sotvik, Coldie rather, was playing this bomb site quite alone and having the other players focused so heavy on mid due to the previous rounds. And there we go, they will now be making their way out, straight out onto the A bomb site. Nice Molotov towards bench. We see aggression coming in by Sotvik, but actually he's going to be able to get his way around the smoke, and he's going to find 2 quick kills. Takes down both enemy and intel, and now Valiance, with only 3 players remaining, have yet to really advance too far towards this bomb site, stuck on Tetris and in Palace.
Yeah, you saw that molly that was trying to counteract that exact push, but Sotvik still gets it to work. And now a 3v5 is going to be fairly difficult to come back from. You can see Valiant's kind of stuck in no man's land. They don't have the smokes deployed. They're stuck between the site. They don't have the presence they need. It feels like someone needs to make a play from Valiance, but they're all just holding and waiting to see if Spirit make a mistake. Finally, the push comes out through Palace. I think it is going to have to be that player to make the difference in this round. 45 seconds left. Still Spirit playing fairly patiently on A, just waiting to see if the push will come out. Finally, Valiant's creeping their way forwards. They do look very, very tentative in this push. They will eventually go for the push. Unfortunately for them, it won't come to anything, though, as 3 kills come out very quickly.
Yeah, and finally, Spirit are going to be able to break the economy of Valiance once again, and this is going to allow Spirit now to build up at least a half that they will be happy with. They should be getting themselves up to at least 9, and they don't, if they get the 9-6 half, that they will be fairly happy. But ideally, they want to get themselves 10-5 because we know how strong of a CT side Valiance can have. We know that they can really just lock it down, especially when Joxic gets going with the AWP, which is something I kind of have to mention so far in this game. He has been kind of absent from the server. Definitely not having the impact that I would expect of him. Hunter, on the other hand, has been stepping it up, but that op, I think, would be what would allow them to just cross that finish line, get over that finish line. As once again, it looks to be just a passive default coming in by Valiance, and not really any control coming in towards middle, just some smokes drawn out to show presence.
Nade into ramp does a little bit of damage. Again, Valiance still going fairly heavily into utility on a buy like this, so they can go for the mid smoke, which should cut Davcost off. Smoke will land now. There we go. And Valiance will be able to go for some mid presence as Davcost is forced to reposition. In the meantime, Sophic is still in towards Connector. And with the smoke being up, he won't spot out the player that's close to him. So that CZ could get into position if the timing is right. Still looks as though Valiance, though, not fully committing to the push. And now Davcost thinking of trying to get a pick, but there it is. Joxic so close, gets that easy opening with the CZ. The Spirit now might be a little bit worried, but that AWP still hasn't been recovered, and Sophic looks to lock it down, but only the one frag. Dima, though, in position, gets one kill back, and a second just before he falls, but it's still back to a 2-on-2.
Yeah, really nice job there by Dima. Both of those frags were so crucial. It allows Spirit to be in a position now where I would say they're actually favoured to be able to clutch this round out. As Intel not looking so strong on the HP. Neno, he's going to be looking fairly healthy, but the fact that they have so little utility to actually try and get themselves this bomb down, etc. And in the CT spot is going to be Coldy, and there you see it. No utility, no smokes. They didn't even bother using the flash to actually try and maybe force a player back off that spot to maybe deny the sound of the bomb plant being heard. And because of that, it is going to be Spirit getting themselves up to that 9th round, and Valiance going into the final of the first half. They are not really going to have a great economy that's going to allow them to buy up everything they want instead. Just going to be mostly pistols, and Intel maybe could purchase an AK if he wants to do so, and there you go, he has made the decision to do so.
Without the helmet, so he is at risk, but certainly worth that risk, I think. Only up against actually one M4 as well, so it's really not that big of a consideration with the AKs being saved. Davcost tries to get lucky through the smoke, not going to happen to start the round off. Again, Spirits haven't really had to change up their setup, to be honest. We've seen Dima generally come in towards short to assist the mid player. Davcost has on occasion switched things up, but it's been Sumdai Young always AWPing towards B, and that will continue. He might be forced to get a couple of frags on the hold. The push actually comes up short, so Sumdai Young is going to have to hold this one off. He does get that first kill. The push through the smoke should be shut down, and Dima gets a second, actually, with his incendiary. The 4v2 now almost certainly will allow Spirit to get their 10th round together unless Emmy can make the difference. There's the one kill. He might just find the second because the player towards short is out in the open. And all of a sudden, we are back to a 2v2 in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, but as you say, that Sotfic able to creep his way up short. We saw Emmy looking to try and maybe make a play in towards Kitchen to find that opening kill, but as he comes back out, he is going to be able to successfully find a headshot on towards Sotfic, and Coldy now himself coming back from this Kitchen position. It seems like Emmy may not be aware of this. He's already cleared the spot. He's hoping maybe that this position is empty for the moment, but now he seems to realise that it's definitely a possibility that the player could be here. He has a small inkling. As he peeks out, he finds the flick, so I was not expecting that. Emmy's able to clutch that round out. A couple of really nice shots with that AWP. He's not the player you'd normally be expected to actually yield that weapon, but he shows he's definitely very capable. And that is going to be 6 rounds on the board for Valiance, so they will also be happy with that half. Spirit should be the same, and I think this game it can still really go either way. It's definitely not called quite yet. This pistol round going to be especially important for the Valiant side.
Well, at the half, I think it's a good time to thank the sponsors of this tournament, Farmskins. Are you tired of useless skins in your inventory? Visit Farmskins. The drops there are better than from Gaben. I mean, we all know Gaben prefers Dota 2 anyway, so make sure to check out Farmskins. There's also many everyday activities and bonuses. So yeah, check out Farmskins, and thank you to them for making this tournament happen. And as we head into the second half, we will get to see if Valiance can hold off here. They're only having the one player on A. This is going to be a tough ask for Neno.
Yeah, looks like Spirit instantly are just going to be making their way out towards the A-bomb site. Valiant's going for some aggression, looking to try and get themselves into good positions to get these flanks at least and go for the retake. And with the diffuse kit in the hands of Emmy and that opening frag going in favour of Joxic, I was going to say this retake could be very, very doable, but that is a nice find by Sotvik to put it back into a 4-on-4, and a great smoke towards Connector allows for Team Spirit to get up so close and really get themselves so much map control in towards jungle, and that's a great thing also to come in. That's 3 players just kind of trapped in towards the jungle position. Are going to be all that remains, and there we go. Young finds himself a couple of kills as Davcost closes it out, and Spirit get themselves towards double digits as they increase this lead by 4.
Yeah, very well done from Spirit, just going for the quick A play. Again, we often see teams try and go for that sort of retake on towards A. It really can be quite difficult to actually get that retake going on the pistol round where you don't have the utility. So I can understand why they try and do it, because it's difficult to hold on to the site, but it's still not that easy to retake. And we are going to see Valiance with 5 CZs in hand, 4 of them stacked towards A. Unfortunately for them, Spirit have some rifles, so they are going to be out towards mid. They are willing to take some long-range fights. And with the CZs, Valiance will be not wanting to take any sort of long-range engagement. So neither side really going to be fighting early on, with Valiance having to try and play close-range angles and Spirit looking for some longer-range fights.
Yeah, and Spirit with a lot of map control at the moment. They're able to get one player up and towards Connector. I believe that is Davcost with the UMP, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and reapproach the say bomb site and have Davcost in this position maybe once the contact is taken from Ramp or Palace or wherever they decide to go from. But they could be in a little bit of trouble themselves as one player goes aggressive in towards Palace. That is Neno, and he could be in a really strong position to maybe take down one player, but it's being read by Sotvik. The game sense, he is expecting that, and he's going to be able to find the opening headshot. And Davcost, he's going to find a frag also towards Connector. So I was going to say this frag by Joxic is going to be one that they desperately require, and as you can see, he's just not able to do it. So instead, Spirit should be taking themselves yet another round and getting their way up towards 11. So outstanding these pistols, going to be able to pull off a successful anti-eco, and it looks like they'll be able to do so quite cleanly. I presume they probably won't really be hunting these pistols. It's not really worth it.
Yeah, and I think we have to put this map into context as well. Remember, Valiance generally really like to play Mirage. They did lose it yesterday against Pride 16-9, but I thought Pride played fairly well there. So the fact that that Spirit are doing so well here, we've definitely got to give them credit. Already 11-6 up, and they should be in prime position to close out this map. Just a couple more gun rounds might do it for them, and they look to be building up the money early on because they are going to get to save all 5 rifles. Well, I guess the UMP is kind of a rifle, but officially it's an SMG into the next round. And Valiance only saving the 2 CZs. So not too much to be said for in this round. You would expect Spirit to take it fairly easily. And again, yeah, just got to give Spirit props because Valiance certainly aren't bad on this map. It just seems like a couple of mistakes maybe have costed them up until this point.
Oh yeah, and especially the fact that Spirit just having no real success on their own map pick to be able to actually come back into this knowing that Valiance are going to be maybe even more prepared on this map and just step it up and be able to get themselves into a very good lead right now. But of course the game isn't over. Right now the CTs are just looking to try and get some damage done with these pistols. Emmy's able to find at least 1 kill, but it seems like it is going to be most of them going back in favour of the Spirit side, as once again it's going to be only these 2 players that remain, Intel and Hunter. Same as the previous round, Hunter last man standing now with this CZ and the Kevlar that he was able to successfully carry over from the previous round. And with 3 players alive from Spirit, I presume they're just going to group up and go towards this A-bomb site.
There we go. Coldy with a wild spray down closes it out. So the 12-6 scoreline comes through as expected. And here comes the buy for Valiance. Joxic does have the AWP, the rest of the team with only rifles. The utility is looking very lackluster though. Just 3 smokes to slow things down and 3 flashbangs to try and maybe see if they can work a pick. And speaking of working a pick, 3 players out towards mid means that Valiance are going to go for that mid aggression. Dima is the first man here on the T side with just a Galil in hand. He gets caught, but Sotvik does find a quick trade. Valiance now call off the mid play after getting a 1-for-1 trade. But in the meantime, Davcost nearly gets that frag. Doesn't quite connect though, so just a 1-for-1 trade after Valiance's aggression.
Yeah, that's going to be in favour of Team Spirit. They'll be happy with that. That's going to leave the CT's defense stretched a lot more thinly, and it's going to leave some holes and weaknesses that can maybe be exploited. And as you can see, Valiant, they're aware of that, so they try to instead try and aggress, take that advantage back in their own favour. Not going to work out. The dink on the Davcost will take him down to 12 HP, but the op, of course, it is quite a lot more powerful. It has the stopping force, and it takes down that player towards theirs in just 1. And now Spirit with a 4-on-3. Still nearly a minute remaining. They aren't in too much of a rush. They're just going to continue holding. They're going to wait to see now if anyone tries to make a play from the Valiant side. And if nothing happens, they themselves are just going to take over one of these bomb sites and ensure that they're able to successfully trade out.
The one man holding A currently is Joxic with the AWP, but Emmy has just pushed underpass to B. So that's going to allow Intel to rotate over, but he's not going to get here in time. That means Joxic has to try and see if he can maybe get one kill. He can't really risk going up into the open, though, as he actually takes a lot of damage there. Down to 25 HP from the spam. Finally, the rotators come in, and there's a backstab as the first frag comes out. Emmy should get a free kill. Oh, he's going for the trigger discipline as he gets the first and the second. Emmy makes all the difference as Joxic also finds that final frag through the smoke. What a play from Valiance. They get the info out towards B, and they get towards A just in time to shut down the push.
Yeah, what a great performance by Joxic. Not only did he get 2 kills, but he also played the role of the bait. Rather, he played the distraction. He just made sure that this T's, as they were coming out ramp, wouldn't be aware of any flanks coming in. They'd be way too focused on his position in CT spawn, and that works out perfectly. So there we go. Valiant's been able to pick up the first gun round coming onto this CT half, looking out to try and chain themselves a couple of rounds together. Of course, if they lose this one, their economy it could be shattered completely once again. And Spirit still with a pretty solid buy into this one, other than that Deagle onto Sumdai Young, and aggressive pushes are going to be coming out. And actually, Davkos not going to be able to connect that one. The corner of the wall, I believe, saving the life of Joxic for the moment, as he does just begin to retreat back off. Now, he's aware that there's an uphold in that position, doesn't want to challenge it once again, but the CT is because of that. They will be able to at least have control of the mid area itself once you actually come out towards this position, down towards the bottom of mid, down towards connector, and they can actually spot underpass, also giving themselves a lot of map control now to work with. So Spirit, this isn't really that good of a position. They've yet to really get themselves anything to work with.
Ooh, cheeky little bit of run boost action out towards mid, but Joxic gets 2 kills. Oh boy, that has not gone well for Spirit. I like the idea of the run boost, but Joxic just spots them out as they go pushing. And without the nades being deployed, it made it fairly easy for Valiance with so many players stacked. There goes Neno winning another one-on-one fight. And just like that, Valiance look like they are right back in this game. A clean round win as Lentley just about closes out the final kill. So it will be all 5 players surviving. And Spirit's money is now the one that is looking like it is in trouble. So looks like we still have a game on our hands here.
Yeah, it definitely seems so. And I want to ask you something just while it's an eco coming in by Spirit. Is it Letney or Intel? Because I've been told different things by multiple different people, and I don't know which to call them.
Mate, I was going to ask you. I was literally going to ask you. I was like, I feel like every time I call him Intel, someone tells me it's Letney, and then whenever I call him Letney, someone tells me it's Intel. So I just switch between them to try and trigger everyone, to be honest.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Can we maybe scramble his letters up a little bit more and make it very confusing?
Oh, we could figure it out. Maybe it's Letner 1. Is that his name?
Oh, that makes sense. It's like a Hen 1, who everyone calls Henny. I see. I never understood that with the twins. They call Hen 1, they call him Henny, and they call Lucas 1 instead of Lucasy. But it's kind of going against your own thing, because you're kind of both of the names are clearly going under the same format, and you're pronouncing them both completely differently. So I never understood that. But yeah, at the moment it's just the eco by Spirit. Not really too much is happening. So we thought we'd have a bit of a conversation. And yeah, Valiance are going to be able to take that one quite easily once again. This time 4 players alive. So building themselves up a pretty solid bank, because now it's going to be the buy coming back out for Team Spirit. 3 rounds in the difference as Valiance beginning to get themselves back into this game after it was looking like Team Spirit may run away with it.
You know what, I'm sure chat will tell us now if it's Letney or Intel, and we'll get 10 different answers. I can't wait. And
they'll all be different.
Oh yeah. Either way. It's going to be Spirit with Davkos having the AWP. Just got word in our ear that Letney was his first... Wait, was it? Oh,
I forgot which way around Intel was his original name, and he went with Letney as a kind of alternate alias, but he's officially changed it to Letney. So yeah, so we're kind of correct in both senses, but we'll go with Letney now since he has changed it. That we will respect the player himself. So yeah, some damage done early on, and even a kill taken in favor of Team Spirit there as they take down Emmy, and Hunter is going to be able to trade that back as he goes aggressive through the underpass, going to be able to take down SDY and even retrieve himself an AK in the process and get full control of the B apartments.
In the meantime, Spirit trying to see if the A site is open for business, and it looks like it is, because Spirit just going to walk forwards. They should get that bomb down fairly easily. Hunter, again, in position for his second headshot. And now the utility needs to be deployed, but there's a gap in the smoke. Joxic misses the first shot, but he might deny the plant. And indeed he does. That was an important kill to get as Hunter continues to open up with the AK. And Valiance get themselves back to double digits. Really interesting round there, because Valiance at the start seemed to have 3 players out towards B. then after they got the aggression, again, they just about managed to rotate back to A in the nick of time. And that seems to be working quite well for them so far.
Yeah, Hunter stepping it up massively. I believe it was at the start of Inferno where you mentioned Hunter is one of those players that's usually super consistent, and I think he's consistent in a different form than some players you would expect, you know, the type of like Crims, etc., who's just going to pick up that one kill every round. I think Hunter, what he does is he consistently has those massive rounds every game, a couple of them just to put rounds that maybe shouldn't go in their favour to allow Valiance to actually take them, and there we go, he finds the opening once again, with Sotvik running his way up through connector. I believe the footsteps somehow not heard by Letney, as he is just going to be able to rack himself up the kills now. 2 quick headshots, Hunter takes himself yet another. And now it's all going to be onto Sumdai Young, low HP, CZ, and 1 kill is going to be found at least, but still it could be difficult. Emmy on low HP, if he finds this one, it could get very dangerous for Valiance. They need to be careful that even though they have bank built up, they still don't want to be losing weapons that aren't really required to be dropped, and giving Sumdai Young a gun to work with could be the beginning of a downfall. But there we have it, Joxic finds it.
Yeah, if you want to talk about names, I mean, how did Sumdai Young decide that's what he wanted to go by?
He's just really pessimistic.
Oh, maybe he'll be a bit more optimistic, because Spirits are at least in the lead for now. So with the way the recent rounds have been going, maybe he has the right to be a bit down on things, because Spirit have been struggling. However, they are, by the looks of things, going to try and switch things up. All 5 players leaning towards A to start the round. Previously, Joxic did a really good job at holding this. Let's see if he can find similar success again with that ult in the exact same position.
Yeah, and what he just wants to do is maybe just slow this down as much as possible, and he does a good job there by starting it off, or at least he starts it off well with that Molotov, and now if he can find 1 kill and fall off, that would be ideal, but not being able to connect that shot and instead taking damage in return. But luckily enough, it's actually Intel to chime in with 1. He gets traded back coldly through the smoke, takes a quick double headshot, and just out of nowhere, Spirit are going to be the team that are looking like very likely to be able to take this round, as Joxic on low HP is unable to fall back. Sotvik takes himself a quick double to join Coldy. And it is now all going to be onto Hunter in a 1-on-3. I mentioned this is the player that can have rounds like this. He really can pull something back that you think they should have no business winning, but still a 1-on-2 for him to try and clutch out. And Coldy and SDY just going to be peeking this together, I believe. We already have 1 player pushing up in the smoke to just ensure that trades do come in, and it's not even going to be needed. Sumdai Young wins it out himself. And yeah, there we go. I guess he's been a little bit more optimistic now in this round, as they are able to take that, be able to continue on with that lead rather than equalising the scoreline. And 13-11 now. Let's see if Spirit are going to be able to chain a couple rounds together, or if they'll get their economy broken. That is the most important question this late into the game. That could be detrimental.
Yeah, it's always interesting after you win a round like that, because you don't really feel like you can go for the same play again, because you can already see Joxic is making sure that doesn't happen with the quick play. In the meantime, the mid push has come in, and Joxic just gets annihilated. Coldy stepping up in these recent rounds, as Dima also finds a spray down. And well, I said that generally you feel like you can't go for the A play twice in a row like that. Clearly, Spirit proving me wrong. A little bit of mid presence, and it works wonderfully well. They're going to get the bomb down with a 2-man advantage, and they should close it out from this point, unless they completely mess it up. And that's not going to happen. Emmy, the only man left, and Coldy popping off in these recent rounds as he finds another triple kill. And Spirit edge ever closer to that magic number 16.
Yeah, I think Coldy's given us a bit of a statement. He's saying right now to Valiance, if you want to take this map, you're going to have to pry it from my cold dead hands, as he's really stepped it up over the past couple of rounds. He's just had so many impactful kills, and because of that, Valiance now are going to be forced to go for the tactical pause finally. It is actually going to be a pause this time. We always have match pause written on our screen for some reason. Seems to be a GoTV issue, but this time it actually was called, and Valiance are now going to be trying to discuss what they can do to get themselves back into this. Of course, they still have a decent economy. They could force into this one if they want. Letney and Joxic sitting, well, Letney at 8,700, Joxic at 3,700, and then Neno can buy for himself at 4,300. So if they wanted, they can invest into this. If not, playing for overtime will be their other option.
Yeah, I think they probably can afford to go for the buy here. They probably could still get the AWP for Joxic as long as Letney drops and then drops the AWP, and there we go. They are going to buy up. Joxic just decides to buy an AWP for himself, so he won't be dropping his teammate. That forces Emmy down to an MP9. But other than that, it's not a bad buy by any stretch of the imagination. As we've kind of been saying, though, throughout this, Joxic, I think generally he's for the most part, quite a good AWPer in my opinion. But in these sort of recent games in this tournament, he's not quite been cutting it maybe as well as we would hope. He's had a couple of impactful rounds, but not really consistently enough. So we'll be hoping to see if he steps up for Valiance here, because this is a very key round at this point. If Valiance lose, they really have a fairly big chance of losing out this map and having to play for Nuke. So here we go. Round 26 could be a decisive one, as Valiance thinking about some mid-aggression. Hunter is the man in position. If he goes for the peak, Davkost is waiting patiently with the AWP. It's a good thing he's not going for that peak because he would almost certainly go down as he plays patiently in a very advanced position, though. I'm not sure what Hunter has in mind here. Maybe just to catch them off guard? Either way, they're just going to fall back.
Yeah, and actually he may be able to hear those footsteps because of his position, so that could be a very vital piece of information to give over towards the Valiant side, and I don't think he has heard them, sadly, but still, they have players in position who'll be able to rotate extremely fast over towards this A-bomb site to try and help, but with one player pushed up very close, that's going to be Neno with an MP9. Likely he only finds one kill here. If Joxic from the CT spawn is able to also get something done, I think that Spirit may be able to overrun this bomb site, as Neno actually decides to take some initiative. He pushes forward and he doesn't even find a single kill. He gets taken down as he drops Deem at the 6 HP, and Joxic will be able to finish him off. He hits the flicks. As you mentioned, it is a player that can really step up big time when it's required, and he comes in with a quick double kill, but Coldy and Sotvik once again, they are going to be able to successfully return it in a 3-on-2 now. It is going to be Thieves that are able to take over control of the bomb site, but it doesn't last. Hunter pushing forward of that smoke towards Steps is going to be able to find one, but losing his teammate now means that he is going to have to attempt to try and clutch this one out, and there's still some utility left. He's just going to go ahead and use all of that now and try to reposition himself around towards the CT spawn to maybe get some sort of a surprise element into this clutch.
Is a bit of a risk, but it might just get him a free kill. Sotvik, however, is watching CT, so as Hunter comes in, he's going to need this quick kill. He's spotted out. Coldy tapping away. It's such a struggle, but Coldy eventually closes out the clutch. Oh, that was incredibly close there. Coldy, I'm sure, was sweating slightly, but eventually he got the headshot he required. And now it is Valiance indeed in an incredibly hard spot. They have to try and win with the buy on the right-hand side of your screen. Doesn't exactly look great for them, and you can already see Spirit, they know they have the range advantage. They're going to go out towards mid and get that first frag.
Yeah, with those rifles and with the op, knowing that they're going to be up against a half buy from Valiance, I like this. Just going straight towards middle. Take every single duel that is going to be the most advantageous for you to actually win, rather than going towards the B apps and towards ramp, etc., where it's a little bit more closer range. But Lenny, did he actually connect 20 points of damage through the box on towards Sotvik with the scout? I think he may have actually been able to connect that wall bang. Not really too substantial, just thought it was interesting. But yeah, Valiant's down by one player right now. Let's see what they're going to be able to do to try and bring this back in their favour. Will we see some maybe aggressive pushes coming out? With those few flashes that they do have remaining, they could maybe try and reclaim control of mid once they hear those footsteps getting close towards connector. And with so many players in this position, I think it's definitely a possibility, but great usage of utility by the T side rather to deny any sort of place to come in, and another great opening by Sotvik to take down Neno.
Little under a minute left, and Spirit looking good to close this one out. Dima gets that headshot. He doesn't spot the second, but how does Emmy miss that kill? Oh boy, Dima manages to flick back around, and Letney has it all to do. The CZ out for the one kill, but the flank coming in. Dima will close it out, and Spirit will, surprisingly enough, take us to a third map. We're going to go back to the desk, where I'm sure Danny will be a bit embarrassed. Take it away, Rema.
Oh yeah. Team Spirit wins that Mirage 16-11, as our casters pointed out, and they bring us to nuke third map of this best of 3 series. I mean, it's elimination match, so why not go for a third map? And Danny, almost correct result for Valiance.
Yeah, it is correct result, but Spirit won.
Other way around. But yeah, amazing game from Spirit. I would say a lot better team play on Mirage than it was the case on Inferno. On the other hand, Valiance, couple of questionable rounds, losing 5v2 on their T side as well. It was really devastating to watch that round slip away from their hands. But what can we say more about Team Spirit and how they managed to win this Mirage?
Well, yeah, they decided to play super aggressive. I mean, rushing through connector, like we've seen so many times in this game, rushing through connector, finding kill on stairs, a guy taking control of jungle, planting that bomb. I mean, I've seen so many times they decided to go for that A, like a few times they went for B. But I think Valiance wasn't prepared enough to play against a team that plays that super aggressive towards any of the sides. So they had a couple of mistakes. And Joxic in the first half, he had like 2 kills in first 6 or 7 rounds. and I thought maybe it's not just he didn't have a bad day yesterday in Mirage. I think he's playing not that great in last couple of I don't know weeks on that map. So I think he really needs to like practice more with the team. But okay, maybe it's another bad day for him. But also in the second half, he had some kills. He knew how to defend A side. But somewhere at the end, I've seen him missing open shot from in pit. He was watching pit with AVP, and one terrorist came and just gave him a headshot. But overall, I wasn't expecting Spirit to win against Valiance on Mirage, but actually they did. And as I said in the beginning, before Inferno even started, we will be seeing Nuke.
Yeah, third map is coming our way, and definitely would be interesting to see both of these teams drawing their guns on that map. But I wanted to mention as well, Hunter, amazing, once again sneaks through jungle to city spawn, this time not towards B, as it was the case against Pride yesterday, and gets again a lot of information for his team, even though I think Coldy dies in apartments from Nano at that point. But once again, Hunter really sneaky. His timing is remarkable on Mirage. Seems like he can find that perfect minute to go for that kind of a play, and he does it really well. So hopefully he continues to play like he usually does. And of course, Spirit, to not disregard them, Coldy had amazing game, Davcost as well. Basically every single player stepped up in order for them to take this Mirage. But that will be it for Mirage and that second map between Team Spirit and Valiance. Third map of this best of 3 is Nuke, and that's definitely going to be interesting. And we'll be coming back after a short commercial break, so stay with eFrag TV. Welcome back, ladies and gents. As I said, shortest commercial breaks in all of esports here at Farmskins Championship. I'm Rema and I will be your host for today. Together with me is Danny. Of course, to mention before we start with the third map of the day, that this qualifier, this Farmskins Championship, is also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. So every single team is giving their best to fight for that one slot that will give them a chance to compete against some of the best teams in the world. Of course, this tournament doesn't have prize money, but it has that prize, that one slot for one of the greatest tournaments that exists, and probably one of the best places to be as a fan or as a player on the other side. So it's always a pleasure to watch. Even if it's Cologne or Katowice, definitely one of the best games or best memories from those tournaments. So hopefully we'll see some of these teams here advancing all the way to the playoffs, and they will maybe be able to play in front of that amazing crowd in Poland. But let's get back on the track and talk a little bit about Nuke and Team Valiance and company and Team Spirit on the other side. So Danny, now it's all tied up. It's tournament on the line here for both teams. It's elimination match in Group A. Who do you think has more pressure now? Is it Valiance because they lost their map pick, or on the other hand, Spirit?
Yeah, I do think Valiance is under huge pressure since they lost on their own pick on Mirage, but had a great game on Inferno. Nuke, I don't know how many times we will be seeing Nuke in these qualifiers, but okay, we're gonna see it now. But I think Valiance is doing great on Nuke. Not that great, but actually good on Nuke. But for Spirit, I'm not sure if they... I mean, okay, I said that for Mirage even, but they surprised us all. But for Nuke, I don't think Spirit has what it takes to bring Valiance down. I think Valiance... that current roster right now, they know each other for 4 and 5 years, so I bet they played together on every single map so many times, and they're prepared enough for this.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, Valiance is preparing that Nuke almost every time, and it's their secret pick when it comes to those elimination matches and so on and so on. So we'll see how Team Spirit fare against them. Again, they have really good offer to go against Joxic. Davkos had a really good game on Mirage. So when it comes to those two, if a clash comes between those two on Nuke, I think it's going definitely to be interesting, because as a T, you would always want to control yard with smokes and try to maybe move down to secret or go to main, try to execute. It usually comes down to that, and that's Davkos stepping in and showing us what he has with AWP. So before we go live, predictions?
I say, I don't know, I think it might be a close one, but I will say 16-9 for Valiance.
I would say 16-13. Valiance, even though I think Spirit can surprise, because I don't remember seeing them playing Nuke at all. But that will be it from the analyst desk here in eFrag Studio. We are ready soon to go live with our casters, Dean and Hoka.
Yeah, guys, welcome back. We will be going now into the final map of this best of 3 series, and I'm not sure if I was expecting us to be going this far, but Team Spirit stepping up and proving us wrong over on Mirage, being able to take that one. I believe it was 16-11, and then we are going to be going live into the knife round over on Nuke to find out who's going to be able to get that. I'd presume anyway, both teams are going to be looking for that that beautiful CT side start, to be able to start off on that defense beyond the side of the map that usually it's fairly heavily favored towards. Not as much as it used to be, but it is still quite favored towards that CT side. It has definitely a bias.
Yeah, it feels like it is a little bit awkward sometimes in terms of trying to hold off out towards outside. Those smokes can come in and you can't really do too much, but oftentimes teams will adapt to that by just holding with the player down secret, watching for that push. Well, 1v1 on the knife round, both players tagged. It's a battle of the reactions. I don't know how important it is to be honest. I mean, I don't know. It seems like the map is a bit more open now for the T side, but it certainly still seems like the CT side is favoured. There we go, Someday gets it. So Spirit get to choose the side. I think it's also worth pointing out, Valiance, they have only played this map 6 times, but they also do have 6 wins on it. So I'm sure it's more just due to opponents not wanting to play them, and we'll see if Spirit can deliver them their first loss since they have become Valiance on Nuke.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, a lot of teams don't really play Nuke, and the fact that so many teams don't play it means that a lot of teams will skip that on the ban phase. They'll instead go for something such as, maybe if they don't play Overpass, that'll maybe be their instant ban, etc. So I guess that's how Valiance really were able to sneak that into a couple best-of-3 series, and it seems to be going well for them so far. So let's see if they're going to be able to do something similar now coming into this one. As on the T side, Valiance, let's see what they're going to be going for. They started off, they have a Molotov and a smoke onto Emmy over on the CT side. Sotfik picks up a defuse kit and a grenade, rather. One of those high explosive ones, as it seems like Valiance are going to be grouping towards the ramp room, but some presence also left in towards lobby. Nice nade by Sotfik as the P2000 is going to be able to start it off. Coldy with the USP carrying over the form from Mirage, rather, as he is able to successfully take down Emmy, and the aggression from Coldy is now going to be cutting off any sort of fallback from the terrorist side, and there we have it. It looks like it will be a shutdown. Team Spirit full control of this round as it's all left on Nino in a 1-on-5.
Yeah, they made that look fairly easy, didn't they? Sotfik and Coldy get the 2 kills each. And Neno, well, he will find 1 kill from behind. Just about closes the frag. But there we go. There's a second player here. Someday Young still fighting 1v1. A little bit dangerous, but now he does realize there's no need to risk it. Falls back. Neno just slowly but surely inching forwards. He might just get Someday Young in the back, but he misses the shot. And that gives it away, although he manages to recover with a second kill. Still 3 more to find, but he's a little bit closer than he was at the start. And with a couple of players being low, maybe there's a slither of hope for Neno. But just as I say that, the peek comes in. Neno gets a 3rd kill here. This is starting to get out of hand as Dima is only on 1 HP. Can Neno really pull this one off, Dean?
Yeah, I'm actually looking pretty confident in him right now, but as I say that, the aggression from Sotfik, yeah. I don't think Neno really was confident at all that he was going to be able to win that round. You saw when he first came in towards the lobby, it looked like he was actually going for the knife. He was going to say, I'll just get this knife, I'll get the extra economy, and then maybe I can get an AK out in the following round during our force buy. And that was his main goal, but he ends up actually taking himself 3 kills, getting that extra $900, not as much as the knife would have been, but still getting himself those kills, dropping actually a couple of players from the Team Spirit side, and not allowing them to carry over to Kevlar also can be something that's huge, because if they hadn't taken any damage, that free upgrade towards the head armor saves them $650, so that is actually quite a decent amount of damage when you do think about it. And right now towards outside, it is going to be Davkos that starts it off well. Dima also going to be able to chime in on towards Nino, and it's the double D combo to be decimating their opponents so far, as Hunter desperately trying to trade it back towards Sotfik, rather, but the CZ at that range not really having any sort of success other than a dink coming in, and there we go. It is going to be Spirit to take it with all 5 players alive, and Valiance now should be facing a full eco.
Yeah, there we go. Nice job by Spirit. This time, no 1v5 shenanigans coming in, no kills in the entire of the Valiance lineup. It looks like they're not really going to have any investment, just a couple of players buying up. Joxic investing 300 and Neno getting the 1 flash. It's nice to see them actually get a flashbang on a round like this. That's what something I think a lot of teams should do more often, as they go fully push out. Looks like Dima is the man holding, gets a couple of headshots quickly. The FAMAS keeps on fighting. He's going to go for the repeak, maybe a bit too much. As Letney, as we now know, finally gets that kill with the Glock. Joxic will recover the FAMAS, but shouldn't really get anything else. There we go. They close it out. And a strong start for Spirit with a 3-0 lead, and not really any problems for them so far.
Yeah, and I think out of all maps to actually get such a solid start winning those both anti-ecos so cleanly, Nuke is probably the best to do it on, because once you have that economy rolling, you really can just kind of shut down the CT side. That's when it definitely becomes an extremely one-sided map. That's when it's going to be heavily favouring the CT side. Once you have all those Molotovs and those smokes, all the utility you need to actually slow down these terrorists, and Valiance now coming out with their first buy round, they will be looking to try and go for some outside control. A fairly standard wall of smokes is going to be going down, and that's the sort of execute that allows them now to try and creep their way down in towards Secret and have some access towards that B bomb site. But Davkos, he's going to be looking to try and counter this. He has an aggressive stance with the AWP, and he's on a position right now where once he takes 1 shot, he can just back off and go for another from a different angle. So let's see what Valiance are going to be able to get done with this map control.
Push comes out towards ramp. As you were saying, the map control coming in here. And that does give them a couple of options. We're going to see Hunter, though, in position to flank Sotfik. He did not expect him to be in towards Secret already. Coldy just shoots his teammate in the back of the head casually. Davkos only takes 8 damage, and he still manages to secure the kill. So a bit of an awkward start to the round, but it is now a 4v4 with Valiance looking to overwhelm the A site.
Yeah, Neno has a perfect position right there as he holds the vents. Not a good approach there by Coley as he tries to make his way up the ladder. Just going to get taken down. But yeah, now 3 players remain for the Spirit side. And it looks like Valiant should be able to get themselves on towards the board now. They should be able to get this first gun round. But I don't know if Spirit even really want to go for this. I think once Steema is taken down in this position, they'll probably go ahead and cancel this. But he actually does take 1 kill before falling. That gives them maybe some form of opening. But Davkos stuck down the ladder. He has a AWP. I don't really think there's much chance of him actually being able to get on towards this bomb site.
Yeah, there we go. This will be the round. Emmy just making sure as he falls back and Valiant get there first together. So it will be Spirit saving the 2 guns, although Someday Young might not be able to save. There is a player close by. Emmy does actually get taken down. Davkost was all the way back in towards Secret. He gets that kill. So it's Valiance having to reinvest, and their money doesn't exactly look great. Whereas Spirit will certainly have a full buy with everything available to them. On the Valiant side of things, they might have a couple of players lacking the nades. You can see Hunter and Joxic both without any nades to speak of. So that might make things a tad more difficult for Valiant into this round. But without the utility, they're just going to go for the straight-up aggression out towards A. Letby going in first, but the spray comes in. It's a double team to get all those frags. And Joxic, the 1 man left, has nothing to do. Davkos gets that exit kill. I mean, what else is there to say? That's a complete shutdown.
Yeah, worst case scenario once again for Valiance. Something similar that happened on Mirage lots of times. Every time they did get 1 round, they'd instantly get their economy reset. And when they were winning gun rounds, they weren't really done so very cleanly like we've been seeing from Spirit now over the past couple. So remaining alive with 5 once again. And now Felico going to be coming in for Valiance other than a couple of pistols being invested into it. Kevlar onto Nino. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get too much done. Pistols on Nuke, it's not really the best map for them. It's not one of those maps where you can just easily manage to actually roll over your opponents. Those rifles are so crucial, and right now Valiant just holding a fairly standard default. They're looking to try and find some picks, and with only the Eagles really to do so, it's going to be very difficult. But Emmy leads the way, hits a shot, and that's going to be a crucial one. That now allows them a lot of control towards the ramp room. They'll be able to maybe get themselves down, having avenue attack towards the B bomb site. But as I say that, the majority of the frags coming back in favour of Team Spirit once again.
Joxic, ooh, does get that headshot. In comes Davkos to get the eventual trade, but a bit of damage done by Valiance and an AK recovered. Oh, Letney nearly sneaks past, but Cody eventually spots him out. And Emmy, with just 1 HP, is going to have to rely on very, very quick headshots. Doesn't even have Kevlar. Not that that matters at this point. Does have the smoke in hand, and he's going to try and use that as Davkos will be smoked off. But, oh, okay then, never mind. Emmy just gets shot through the smoke as Davkos lines it up. It's a fairly fast 5-1 lead here for Spirit, and Valiant's really not still in position to get a great buy on the board, especially if they want to go for the full play towards outside, as you see so many teams go for with the smokes. They have to go for a couple of weaker guns to get those full nades, so they can now have the full arsenal of nades to play with at the cost of a little bit of weaponry.
Yeah, and also another thing I want to point out is that the 2 players who aren't going to be working with the AKs are the 2 players that I say have had the most impact within this series so far, so that's interesting enough. Hunter only on a UMP, Joxic only working with the CZ, of course, doesn't have the op as you probably would prefer, but right now it's just going to be a slow default coming in by Valiance, it seems, once again, just holding in towards lobby, waiting to see if any aggression comes in by the CT side, and they are going to be focusing actually extremely heavily over towards ramp. It looks like they may be waiting to see if they can maybe catch any aggression and try and swarm this position and get the control, because getting some success with the pistols in the previous round maybe shows them that there is a small weakness towards this position.
With a little over a minute left on the clock, they will look to see if they can exploit that perceived weakness, and oh, Letney jumping round the corner eventually spots the man out for the first frag. They're going to make their way back towards B as Joxic mollies out that vent. Dima is still looking to lock down the site. They have to clear this position, and Letney should go down. There's the bomb dropped as Letney, doesn't get the frag, and Dima manages to get both. And that really made all the difference as Neno, again stuck in an almost unwinnable position. He made it close previously on the 1v5, and this time it's a 1v4, so it's a little bit easier. But with the players all having rifles, the dink comes in, and Dima closes out a 3k. This is starting to get a little out of hand now. A 6-1 lead for Spirit. And Valiance need to really pull their fingers out and find something to work for them on their T side.
Yeah, I think the problem really there was that they only had that really they only mostly had the most of their presence at least coming in from the ramp room, and because of that, there was just such a great position from Demon to just hide in and wait for the players to get up close and then just mow them down, and it worked so well. So Spirit continuing to increase this lead now, and remind that this is the third map of the series. The winner of this will be continuing on, and the loser, I believe, is eliminated if I'm correct. So it is going to be a bit of a struggle now for Valiance, as they are looking to go down 7-1 before they can get the rifles back out to actually try and contest this one. And a minute and a half remaining now, as they do just continue to hold, not really having any success so far with the pistols other than a small amount of damage to be connected. And with that kill going in favour of Sotvik, they should now be the round in favour of Spirit, unless some miraculous plays are pulled off with these pistols.
Yeah, it looks like the kills will slowly but surely come through. Letney, the last man left, does have the bomb in his control. Doesn't look like he's going to get anything done, though, and we've really seen Spirit be able to hold onto their guns so well that they have a lot of cash built up. It's unlikely Valiance will be able to break that as they get another flawless round with all 5 players surviving. You see the desperate pause attempt called from Valiance. They will eventually get the pause to come through. And this time they should finally have a proper full buy. Full rifles, basically full nades. They can get an AWP if they want it. And we'll finally get to see a sort of full-on buy round from Valiance. Because to be honest, we haven't really had that many of them up until this point where they have had everything in their arsenal. So let's see if they have something planned heading into round 9.
Yeah, Jock's like a player that I think needs to step up now. If Valiance actually want a chance to be able to build up a respectable T-half and not have to put all of it on that defense, not give themselves really no room to work with. So yeah, it is going to be a difficult half still for Valiance, and let's see if they're going to be able to bring themselves back into it. They of course are going to be buying. We see a couple of players have already purchased up. They are just going to be discussing what way they want to actually try and go and approach this round to finally get something else onto the board. And it looks like the op will indeed be coming out for Joxic. But as we're waiting for this round to go live, I just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this tournament. Of course, it is Farmskins. If you want to go ahead and get yourself some nice skins, you can go head on over there, open yourself some nice cases, and the slogan of this website itself is that they give better drops than Gaben's, so maybe go ahead and test that out. Of course, I've never really had too much luck with Gaben's drops in the CSGO menu itself. I always get blues, but maybe you can get lucky over towards Farmskins. But yeah, going into this round now, Valiance, I'm going to be looking forward to see what they do decide to bring after that pause. Will they have a big adjustment to their game plan, or maybe they're just thinking that they're doing the right thing? Maybe it's just the small mistakes instead that are costing them rounds, but it looks like they may have at least a small alternation rather. They are going to be bringing themselves up towards the roof, throwing some smokes out towards outside, and it looks like Jox with that off is looking to maybe try and find an opening frag as his teammates do, just look to try and claim this map control, and they're really successful so far. Spirit have been forced back off those angles.
Yeah, it was quite a nice boost to get Davkost up to the rafters very early into the round, but as he gets flashed off, he is again forced to reposition and play very passively, as is fairly common on the CT side. The AWPers can't really sort of, I guess, commit to holding that position because there's just so many angles that they can be exposed from. We are going to see Valiance make their way forwards. SDY just about manages to spot the man before the push comes in, and he gets the second spray down. In the meantime, Davkost also chimes in with a frag, and it looks like the timeout has done nothing for Valiance. The Spirit yet again get it to go their way. I don't know if that's the smoke Sumdai Young was looking for, but I don't think it matters at this point because all the kills are coming in for Spirit, and in comes the final frag. What else is there to say? Again, an incredibly dominant round, and Valiance look like they're falling asleep here. They're not finding any frags, and ooh, a sword off the Hunter. Maybe this can make the difference because they need something to work for them.
Yeah, ironically, considering their name at the moment, I'm not sure if this is quite a valiant effort coming in from them, as this time they're just going to go for a half buy. They have, is it a half buy? Yeah, a half buy. They don't really have too much money built up, so interesting choice that they go for the sawn-off, as you mentioned, onto Hunter. I guess we may be seeing them go out towards the A-bomb site. It's really the only place on the map where it's actually viable other than maybe ramp, but even then there's a lot of long-range angles towards both of those positions, so let's see if he's going to actually have any success, and it looks like they will be just executing towards this bomb site. They have a couple of Molotovs to clear out top of the hut, maybe throwing in towards the vent, in behind that vent over towards the CT side, of course, where players can be hiding, and here we go. Now they will be looking to try and make their way out, but that Molotov, not a great start. Oh my god, Hunter, what was that? He threw his teammate, I believe. The bullet spread, managed to take down Coldy, so Valiance end up taking that opening kill for themselves.
Well then, maybe the sword off does make the difference they were looking for. He gets 2 kills. Okay, Hunter, maybe not that fight at long range, but in the meantime, the ramp push comes out. And there we go, Hunter leading the charge as they make their way now in towards heaven. And Davkost there with the AWP could be in trouble. The wallbang comes in. and Dima will be the only man left alive. Hunter finally gets rid of the sword off, and the AK will also do the trick. Valiant's going to get their second round together, and it was really nice for them to also save so many guns so that they can try to build up some cash, because they want to make sure they don't get instantly reset into this 11th round.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's still a lot of economy left over on the Team Spirit side after being able to win so many rounds in a row. So even losing this one, they'll still be buying into the following. And then with the money bonus adding up, I think they may even have enough for another buy. So they'll be alright now for at least the majority of the rest of this half before they actually will have to face any sort of eco. And now if they're able to take this one, Valiance once again will be reset, as you mentioned. And this is just such a crucial round now for Valiance. If they don't win this one, the previous round could have been just all in vain. It could have been completely useless in terms of the outcome of the game. So let's see what is going to happen as Valiance once again just gone with the default, it seems. Looking to try and maybe later on get some outside control, as we do see Letney, aka Intel, aka I don't know what his name is completely, but it seems to be both of those, which is very confusing. But yeah, we see him preparing some smokes for outside along with the rest of his teammates, and let's see what Valiance are going to decide to do once they do claim this map control.
Still plenty of time early in the round with over a minute left. But Valiant seem to have made some sort of call. They've got the smokes deployed in towards outside. Those smokes, though, are actually quite interesting. It looks like the smokes are only really going to allow them to get down secret. So this might be a little bit obvious. You can already see Coldy in position. And there you see the smokes, they're all lined up to make it down secret. So Spirit might be able to spot this one out and sort of catch them off guard if Valiants aren't careful, because they certainly haven't been sort of quiet about their outside presence. Either way, the push does come down secret with 34 seconds left. They have committed to B, and Coldy is here. He gets the first, and he is trying to play the headshot angle. Eventually, he falls, so it's just a one-for-one trade, but here comes the rotate. Joxic, though, actually spots him out up close, and that means the bomb should be able to go down now with a man advantage.
Yeah, and Neno should be able to catch one player off guard towards the A bomb site. Sunday Young is indeed going to be taken down, as he dies a bit prematurely, as now the bomb does get planted down on the B bomb site. It's going to be only Davkost and Sotvik that are going to be left to actually try and retake this, and I don't even think it's worthwhile. That B bomb site is so difficult to retake, even with an even amount of manpower. But when they're down by 2, I think, yeah, just back off, just go ahead and save these weapons. Even with the economy available, it's kind of just uselessly thrown away weapons if you do actually try to attempt this retake.
Well, Spirit have indeed called this round off. Again, important for Valiance to save as many guns as possible. It's looking good for them to close out the half with at least a few gun rounds now, because 4 guns saved again. So Valiant's finally putting some rounds on the board, and even though they were, what, 8-1 down, it's still certainly a position where as long as they get maybe 5 rounds or 6 rounds on the board, they can be fairly content with this half. So even though Spirit were looking very, very dominant and they were winning the rounds in sort of impressive fashion where they rarely lost a single player, now that Valiants are picking up rounds, they're actually going to get themselves into a decent position if they can win a couple more. We are going to see again a couple of smokes towards outside, but the rest of Valiant's going to come back in towards lobby. We haven't really seen too many quick A plays, but it looks like that's what Valiants might be thinking of here as they go for the mollies already over the top. Here comes the push, and Sumdai Young caught out in the open. Push continues as Valiants finally showing some confidence as they claim the site.
Yep, nice Molotov also going to be restricting the approach of those 2 players up and towards Heaven. Sotvik in towards the main position, going to be spamming away wildly, but actually the traces are going to be used against them as Joxic is able to take him down. Davkost ends up returning 1 kill rather, but still down by 1 man right now. Spirit, what will they decide to go for? They have some economy available. The A site not quite as difficult to retake if they're able to especially find the frag early on, and there we go, a crucial kill going to be found by Dima, but Emmy below. Will this angle be expected? And as you can see, it is not, and Joxic closes it out by taking down Davkost. And it looks like we have a pause coming in, so coming in by Spirit, actually, I guess they don't want to really allow this half to slip away. If they could get themselves the final 3 rounds, they still would be working with a very, very solid CT side. So taking this pause now, I would definitely agree with this one.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, I think they're just going to be slowing things down. They obviously know they need to buy, but they can kind of discuss what's been going wrong, because to be honest, it's been different plays coming out from Valiance that have worked for them. It hasn't been sort of one strategy destroying them. It's not like Spirits have a sort of area where they can say, hey, let's stack towards outside or something. It's really been Valiance proving themselves all across the map. So it's not easy for Spirit to switch things up here. And you can see after this investment, Spirit don't actually have that much money left in the bank after losing 3 in a row. So we'll have to see if Valiance win this round, what the money position will be like. Here goes Joxic towards outside. The flashes are insane. Everyone is blinded. And I think Joxic spotted out the man there. They know there's a player in towards Secrets. Could go for the nades if they wanted to. That might work for them. They don't know exactly where that CT is playing from. Now Emmy spots him out. Great opening kill there. Joxic getting the information, and Valiance doing exactly the right thing. But Davkos, in the meantime, has got one kill back, and Cody up close just picks off a player. In comes the trade. Frantic round, but it's back to a 3-on-3.
Yeah, and some map control now being gathered by the T side as they get a lot towards outside. Hunter able to find one more kill before he eventually gets taken down. And of course, these trades are going to continue to favour the T side as now a 2-on-2. Only Dima and Sumda Young are going to have to spread themselves out to actually try and defend these bomb sites. As we see Sumda Young going to be located up on the A bomb site. Currently, Dima is actually playing from the garage towards outside, so no real presence on B. So let's see where Valiance decide to take this. If they do go down towards this B position, down through the ramp, it could be a perfect position for them to get themselves into very strong afterplants before Spirit are even able to get towards the bomb site themselves, like before they're even able to prepare themselves for the retake. As now Nano just slowly clearing these angles. 30 seconds still remaining. They're not in too much of a rush, but they do need to get a move on eventually.
Looks like they should have the site. The molly will be deployed, so that gives away the information as the vent is broken. And now Spirit should be able to rotate down, but Letney getting into the door just about fits through. He's not so fat that he can't fit through the double door. And there goes Neno falling down. So now Letney has it all to do. And without a hole in that door, it can be quite difficult to actually play this in the post plant. You might have to open it up entirely unless you can line up the spray. And that's what Letney is looking for. Still no defuse. They're going to nade out the door, though. This is so good for them. Letney will be exposed from all angles. In comes the peak. And one nade makes all the difference. That was really useful to have the nade in that spot.
Oh yeah, but it also could have backfired. We saw that Dima didn't actually go to take the fight with Sumda Young. So if Sumda Young had fallen, then the player in the toxic room there could have just played time on the bomb. He could have just kept shoulder peeking, waiting for the player to try and push him down, and it could have backfired. But luckily enough, that fight was won by Sumda Young. And that's a very awkward sentence to say. But yeah, finally another round going to be getting put on the board for Spirit as they take the lead 9-4. But Valiance, of course, after winning a few in a row, they will be able to afford to buy into this one. They get everything they want. They get the rifles, they get the op, and let's see what way they're going to go ahead and approach this round. And as you said, it's been very, very different from round to round. It's not like they're going for some stale setups. They are adjusting extremely well and constantly adapting to what they think would be correct to try and counter the Spirit CT defense. But for now, Valiance just holding back, waiting to see what they can get done. It looks like they will be preparing an execute for perhaps later in the round. And it's been fairly standard that they go towards outside, but this time they may be actually putting most of their focus towards the A bomb site.
So that might be the case. Still, Spirits have the money for the buy, which is something I was a little worried about. So they won't be in terrible shape, of course, thanks to that recent win. Does mean, though, that if they lose this one, the 15th round comes into question. But Davkos doesn't even want to think about losing this round. He's going to get that opening pick to make things a lot easier. The mollies are again coming out towards the A site, and Davkos up the vents. Look at him go! Going for the no-scope. Doesn't quite connect, but there it is. Davkos. That was ballsy, but if you can land the shots, fair play. He's up there at 15 kills, 4 deaths. Clearly having a much improved performance as Spirit get double digits.
Yeah, Davkos was always a player like this. When I think of Davkos, I kind of think of World Edit. Maybe he doesn't have as high of a skill ceiling, but he just has games where he goes absolutely insane, and other games where he may just be completely missing from the server. And this is definitely one of the... This is definitely the prior one, as he's definitely shown up massively. And there we go. Joxic is finally going to be able to find something for Valiance to work with, a bit of a silver lining as they do take that opening advantage. And I think that's actually the first time they've been able to find a kill like that early on. And on the back of it, they are just going to decide to come out onto this A-bomb site. Coldy finds one, able to get a dink also. And Dima doing most of the work now as he comes out of door and spinning around. He finds the up player of Joxic also. So 11-4 in favour of Team Spirit in that half. It was looking a little bit shaky, but they were able to redeem it. And 11-4 is a very, very solid half that they'll be super happy with.
Yeah, I certainly think Spirit will be the happier of the two teams. Even with Nuke being CT-sided, I think you probably need a bit more than 4 rounds. You're still in danger, of course, if the pistol round is putting you out of it. So Valiance are really going to have to make sure that the pistol round can go their way. And we're going to have to see what they decide to go for. You do sometimes see teams be willing to rush down vents and try and get that bomb down at B really quickly. But that's always quite difficult to do. It seems like that's easy to get the bomb plant, but not necessarily to get into a good position to win the round. So I wouldn't like to see that come out necessarily from Spirits here. Instead, we're going to see 2 sets of nades, so it's unlikely they'll go for any sort of massively quick push in towards close range. Especially with those flashbangs, they are just going to hold back to start things off. Though as I say that, Emmy nearly getting the angle, but does look like Spirit will just hold lobby to start the round.
Yeah, and it looks like we will eventually see them trying to execute towards this A-bomb site, or maybe even make their way through a ramp. It seems like they are definitely going to be focusing towards the inside of the map anyway right now. Right now, at least, outside has been completely given up, and the CTs themselves are not really looking to try and challenge that too aggressively. Joxic is just spotting it from the heaven position, just ensuring that no players can creep down into secret, as with it still over a minute and 10 seconds remain, and Spirit aren't really going to be on any sort of a rush yet. But there we go. It is looking like the execute will finally be initiated. A smoke goes down towards the garage. Flashes go in. The Glock's now trying to close the distance. And it's actually Emmy to open it up as he finds a player jump and takes the head off. Letney also from heaven, rather. I was about to say Intel. He's able to get a couple of kills and continues to do damage as it's all onto Sumdai Young. He falls to Neno, who comes in on the flank from ramp. And Valiance getting a very crucial round as they pick up the pistol and keep themselves in this game for the moment at least.
Spirit almost looked like headless chickens on the site there. They had no idea where Letney was. He was just able to open up with that USP. That's always the benefit of the silencer, I guess. They had no clue where he was. They couldn't figure it out. And still, Spirit will be okay with the position they're in, but they're going to have to see if the Thieves can do anything this round as they go towards outside. Soltfic just hoping for some luck, and he does get that first frag. Hunter not going to be too happy with that one. He goes down incredibly quickly. So it is a man advantage for Spirit, although a lot of damage done to Dima. Still, Valiance should be fairly confident they can hold off. Neno, though, needs to be a little bit careful as the push has also come through outside. Let's see if Letney is aware of that, because Davkost is fairly close. Looks like he doesn't want to push, though. If he did go for the push, he'd be very exposed. So they're just slowing things down. The Spirit seeing if they can extend this man advantage.
Yeah, Dima taking a lot of damage though. He is going to be low, and with a nice find by Letney, they're taking down one more. But actually in the process, I didn't even notice that Sumda Young was able to take down Neno. So once again, the man advantage has been reclaimed by Team Spirit, and with this fight with Joxic, and I believe that is SDY once again over towards ramp, this could get dangerous. The Deagle, of course, a weapon that you should definitely fear, especially when that player's aim is on point, which so far Sumda Young has been playing great in this one. But down towards the B-bomb site now, some control will be taken. Joxic just going to be sitting back towards ramp and waiting to see if any more players are going to come in his direction, maybe make a mistake and give him a kill or maybe two, but doesn't seem like it's going to be likely. Sotfic, though, not really having any luck trying to actually meet up with his teammates, but he's having a look getting the kills. Takes down Emmy and Spirit, looking like they may be able to find an upset with only these pistols, as both Joxic and Letney are quite heavily tagged up as they come in towards this retake. Letney takes yet more damage, as now both of them are going to be on 29 points of HP. A single bullet is all that's required to take them down, and I think because of that they are just going to go ahead and give up on this round already.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Valiance. That was really the round they needed. They must have felt like they were in a great position after winning that CT pistol, but they can't go for the retake after losing out early on. Spirit got themselves on towards B. Sumdai Young. Joxic there struggled to get that kill, but eventually connects the shot. So it will just be 2 guns saved on either side, although Coldy only saving a Deeg. So if Valiance go for the force here, I mean, it's not going to be great. And actually, Spirit have a bit more money than I thought, so they should be able to get enough AKs together. Yeah, 4 AKs across the lineup, so the buys won't really be comparable, but Letney has the 1 rifle, alongside a CZ, a couple of umps, maybe still potential for something to happen into this round 18, and Valiance at this point are really going to need to rely on this round, so let's see if they can get something going for themselves. Joxic with the scout will hope to get an opening, but it looks like Spirit not too interested in going towards outside. In fact, they're not too interested in going anywhere, really, to start the round. They are just, again, holding slowly, as we see all so often from Spirit on their T side.
Yeah, Team Spirit just going to be playing this round extremely safe. So, as a reminder to maybe someone who has just joined this recently, this is the elimination match of Group A. So, a very important matchup for both teams. Reminder that also that the prize of this tournament is a spot at IEM Katowice. Katowice, I believe it's pronounced in just about a month, I believe, isn't it? Towards the end of February. So, both teams, of course, want to try and qualify towards that. Loser, this is eliminated and no longer has a chance to do so. So, Team Spirit just sticking together, making sure that they play this as safe as possible. And Sotfic is going to be able to find the first kill. gets that opening headshot. Smokes go down, and they're going to be easily able to make their way down and towards Secret now. So I'd presume this B-bomb site is going to be overwhelmed any second. And Valiance with only pistols and a couple of SMGs and that scout, I don't know really what they can actually get done.
Time is also slowly but surely going against Spirit. But as you were saying, they have the man advantage and the weaponry advantage. So they should still be in shape to win this round. And there goes Dima getting that all-important kill. Joxic with just the scout needs headshots. No one has taken any damage. You can see he's not going to be able to find them as he falls back. And Sotfik in the enemy lines. Easy headshot. Really nice position for the free frag. And Coldy was always going to be here if necessary for the trade. So solid play from Spirit. Again, they take their time, but in taking their time, they play methodically, and that allows them to close out the round with ease. Still, no one taking any damage, and it will be their 13th on the board. There goes some damage, though. Finally, a kill comes out as Joxic shuts down Sotfik, but still, no one really cares. Let's be honest, Spirit going to take their 13th.
Yeah, and with a broken economy now, Valiance are just going to be facing an eco, and we should see Spirit reaching 14 before we are going to actually see any more weapons coming out from Valiance. But a couple of kills from Joxic may actually allow him to save the scout, but no, he will end up getting taken down just in the last couple of moments. So yeah, the economy right now of Valiance won't really allow for too many pistols to be invested into. Joxic, I presume, wants to save for the up. Letney maybe could purchase up a P250 or so, but then again, they want to make sure that they have economy for all that utility that they're going to require in this following gun round. So I'm not sure if it's worth it, and it definitely doesn't seem to be as they stick with 5 USPs. So main goal now, maybe just try and get a couple of kills, allow them once they get the guns out to break the economy of Spirit, and allow them to get on a bit of a run to try and actually begin to build the comeback. But it's still going to be very, very difficult, as even on the CT side of Nuke, it can be a real struggle when your economy is just constantly being broken and remaining weak. You really need to be able to actually get all that utility out, get out the ops, everything you want. And Spirit, once again, just taking this round extremely slowly, just waiting back, hanging around, seeing if anything is given to them by Valiance.
Oh, not the best. I think that was 35 damage, but Dima still going to get the job done. He gets that opening headshot. And Valiance with 4 USPs and a dream of somehow winning this round. I think it's only going to be a dream, though. I don't think it will come into reality, especially after that opening frag. Spirit, again, playing things very patiently, but against the pistols, there's no reason not to. You can see the peaks still coming in. And Neno now might be overwhelmed. Ooh, he actually gets the chance for the dink there, but doesn't quite get the 2 headshots he would have needed. And so Valiance now will have some information, but they won't really have any presence towards the B site. So it looks as though Spirit will be able to claim this quite easily now. The bomb should be planted, although Valiance have got the one player at door. There goes Sotfik, though, shutting him down, and that should really settle things, unless... Oh, Nano. There you go, finally gets a kill.
I would have liked to have seen him go for the knife there to get the extra economy, allow the op to be purchased up and dropped over to Joxic maybe, but I guess he didn't want to be taking that risk. Just confirmed to himself that he can get that AK carry over into this round, and yeah, he's going to be able to use that for himself now. Joxic may also find one, as he does indeed take down Davcost, so that's not such a bad find towards the end of this round for Valiance. Able to claim themselves a couple of rifles, take a couple of kills also, and do some damage to the Spirit economy, as Intel, or Letney rather, is probably also hoping for the same, but I don't think any players are going to be quite coming in his direction quite yet, as they are just going to be hanging back towards ramp, and another kill for Sotfik will end up closing that round out.
Couple of AK saved, as you were saying, might help them out. They can drop if they want to. They're not going to, though, by the looks of things. It's actually going to just be them having the full utility on the players with the AKs. And also, I guess the AKs with the one-shot headshot potential always helps out. So heading into round 20, Valiance, really, it's now or never. They need this round. Incendiary going to slow down the push as Davcost takes a little bit of damage as the flames nip at his heels, and that nade might do a bit more. There you go, down to 81 HP. Not too bad to start things off. Spirit, though, still lining up around A. I was going to say this is dangerous as Hunter lines up that kill. And there you go, the AWP is denied. Davcost falling early on, and maybe a little bit of luck that Valiance needed, but just as I say that, SDY brings it back to a 4v4 with a crisp headshot.
Yeah, it seems like they failed their smoke over towards ramp, and that's definitely causing a bit of a problem for Valiance. It is going to be a massive issue as they lose 2 players in that position. Somda Young doing a great job at picking up those opening kills over towards ramp, and now Joxic with the op has to really get work done. And yeah, I guess he started off quite well by finding one, but he will just back off now and allow for the ramp room to be taken over completely by the terrorists, and they're using their utility very efficiently to just keep Joxic back for the moment and allow them to maybe try and feel out the defense, decide where they want to go. And with Caldy coming up through heaven, A is still an option for them, and that's a great opening find as Emmy gets taken down. And let's see now where the bomb will decide to go. Another kill by Caldy. He's doing so much work from heaven at the moment. And now Hunter in a 1-on-3. He has 2 kills already. He's going to be able to get himself up to a 3rd. Or rather, now he has 2. The UI was glitched out for me originally, but his position is known. He's taking a lot of damage. Finds 1 more kill at least, but it is going to be Sotvik that's in position to pick up that trade, luckily enough for the Team Spirit side. And that's going to be Spirit now making their way towards map point, and Valiance, they are on the back foot as they're 1 round away from being eliminated and losing their chance of actually being able to play on that stage at IEM Katowice.
Yeah, for these sort of teams, it would be a huge opportunity, but it looks like Valiance will not get that opportunity unless they can really pull out a miracle comeback. And again, they were in prime position after stealing Spirit's map pick away. It seemed like they were going to go on to win, but it's not meant to be by the looks of things as Spirit keep on going, although Hunter flicks back around for a frag. It's going to be back to a 3-on-3, so maybe it's not over just yet. The push comes down secret, a couple of players sticking together. Spirit might just try and claim this B site. They still have a 3v3 to play from, but Letny gets good timing for the flank. And Valiance might just stay alive if they can hold on to this man advantage.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be increased even further. Letny's going to be doing a good job at keeping them alive. Only 1 player now remains for the Team Spirit side, and that's just going to be Caldy, and he's already heavily damaged. He's down to only 29 points of HP. Of course, Hunter not looking so healthy either. But Neno and Letny on the other hand have plenty of HP to work with.
Well, there we go. Nano closes out that round at the very least. Spirit, I guess, have somewhat of a decision to make. 3 players can certainly afford to buy. I mean, at this point, you can afford to eco. Obviously, they're so far ahead. I don't think it really matters too much. I'd probably just go for a few pistols dropped by the players that have the money. Maybe some Young could even afford to buy an AK and still have enough money into the subsequent round. That's somewhat questionable. Maybe actually some Young should buy an AK and drop it. Like that's always an option, but I don't think the buy should matter too much. They should be able to close out 1 of these upcoming 9 map points they have.
Oh yeah, it's very likely. Of course, it's not unlikely, or well, rather not impossible that Valiance could actually successfully get this comeback. It's not unheard of that teams are able to take 9 or 10 rounds in a row on the CT side of Nuke, even with it being this newest version, because as I mentioned, once you really get your economy rolling, if your players are just all hitting their shots, etc., you can really lock down these bomb sites. But then again, that depends on how prepared Spirit are also over on this T side of Nuke, because that's also going to be something that could affect the outcome of the end of this game. But yeah, I'd presume most likely they'll find at least 1 more round within the next 9, as with just pistols for the moment, they are going to be just going towards outside. 5 Desert Eagles, interestingly enough, so they had the plan coming into this round that they'd want to take these long range angles, and there we go. It's going to be Davkos to actually open it up. Joxic returns it, and he will be happy enough with that, as Letny now should be able to find the backstab onto at least 1 player as he comes out of garage. Emmy also with the MP9, going to be able to find 1 just chilling over towards that blue box. Davkos gets taken down. Joxic able to also find 1 on towards Dima, and it's going to be that round closed out indeed by Valiance, only losing 1 player.
Solid work from Valiance, but now comes the first real test. Davkos has the AWP alongside the rest of the lineup with the AKs in hand. They will all go for AKs, and to be honest, the nades still look fine, so good reason, no reason not to go for the AKs, I guess. They don't need to go for an ump to get extra nades or anything like that. So into round 23, it could be the decisive one, unless Valiance can keep on winning. We are going to see Spirit again hold back, although a couple of smokes in towards outside might prompt them to go forwards. I think they've used a lot of their utility there. And Letny gets close to connecting through the smoke. Luckily for the player, he's going to be able to jump over the top. So Dima will stay safe. It's only 1 man down secret, though, with a lot of utility used. So I'm interested to see what the end game is here for Spirit, because you can see they've already used a lot of their nades towards outside and not really gained too much presence from that.
Yeah, but having that player down in secret can be also very, very crucial. It tends to usually weaken the A-site defense, as there's usually a set player, once one player has gone down secret, that most teams at least would rotate down to watch that position. And as you can see, they have done so. I'm not 100% sure who that is. I believe it's Emmy that has dropped down the ladder, and it's just going to be making sure that that player isn't able to creep his way up through ramp room, etc. So that is going to slightly weaken the defense on the A-bomb site, and that could be now a target for Team Spirit. They could be trying to make their way towards this position as they do bring that player back up through secret. They have a couple players towards the door, and it looks like they will be coming in through both main and the lobby itself, as now it's going to be a difficult hold for the CT side. Valiance definitely need to take this round, of course, to keep themselves alive, and let's see if they're going to be successful in doing so. Starts off fairly strong as Joxic finds the first, but Coldy treading them back, as does SDY. Hunter desperately looking to try and get something done, but he's only able to find one before he gets traded, and that is going to be Team Spirit taking this best of 3 series 2-1 as they close it out on Nuke 16-7. For now, we will send it back to the analyst desk to discuss what we have just witnessed.
And that will be all for first match of the day. Team Spirit managed to keep themselves alive in Farmskins Championship, winning against Valiance and company with the result of 2-1 in this best of 3, winning last map Nuke as we just witnessed. So congrats to Team Spirit. Unfortunately, Valiance and company are going to miss out on this qualifier for IEM and Farmskins Championship, as well as they go 0-2 in Group A. Danny, welcome once again. Well, looking at how Spirit started, I think they kind of started really strong and practically destroyed Valiance at the beginning. And maybe that's the problem for Valiance, because they were playing in a deficit from the
7-1.
Yeah, from the start.
Yeah, I mean, you said this might be that secret pick for Valiance and Nuke, but I think it's secretly disappointing from what we've seen. Super disappointing. I mean, okay, they started as T. If they started